Mr. Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Whitmire.
Present.
Councilmember Peck.
Here.
Councilmember Jackson.
Here.
Councilmember Panzarella.
Here.
Councilmember Evans Shabazz. Councilmember Flickinger. Here. Councilmember Thomas.
Present.
Councilmember Huffman. Councilmember Castillo.
Here.
Councilmember Martinez will be absent. Councilmember Pollard.
Here.
Councilmember Castex Tatum.
Here.
Councilmember Ramirez.
Here.
Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Carter. Councilmember Salinas. And Councilmember Alcorn.
Here.
Need a motion to adopt the minutes of July 7th and 8th.
Castex Tatum move.
Peck second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Do this before that.
Procedural motions. Councilman Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules to add Norma Garza to the bottom of the 2-minute speakers list, non-agenda.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Anyone else? Members, before we get to our speakers, I'd like to thank everyone that's present today. It's important that we fill the chambers today with speakers that will support our call for a transparent and independent investigation. It's been 1 week today of the tragedy of Mr. Rojo. The pain has not subsided. It certainly has united this council. It's united our city. And as mayor, I want to thank Houstonians from every walk of life that have showed their compassion, that have brought the subject and the tragedy up in their pulpits. It's a real challenge for the city of Houston to make certain that everything is done to support this family and respect them, respect their privacy. And I hope that's what we also practice today. There are many developments. The city has furnished the authorities, the district attorney's office, audio of the 911 call, metro video, all the resources of the city of Houston. Sean Tier's done an outstanding job and difficult challenge. He and Chief Diaz are meeting with the FBI as we talk. The city is doing everything possible to participate and assist in an investigation. We're told today that the staff they're meeting, the regional director of the FBI, does not have the evidence. It's in the hands of Homeland Security in Washington. Not only do we want to keep the Salgado family in our thoughts and prayers, but certainly the young man that was shot and killed yesterday in Maine. These are challenging times for our community, but our nation as well. But together, demonstrating our unity, our inclusion, we'll get through it. But there's going to be challenging days ahead of us. We ask everyone for their thoughts and prayers for the family as well as this great city. This city comes together when we face challenges, and that's what we're doing as we gather today. I would ask everyone, before we call our first witness, our first speaker, to join me in a moment of silence. I ask you to go to your individual faith I ask you to do that, recognizing the diversity of our faith community, and keep the families across the United States that have suffered at the hands of an out-of-control law enforcement agency. And also let our speakers know you are making a difference. I've seen on the news where ICE is pausing their traffic stops. It's a shame that it has to come after a loss of life. But the community is making a difference, and we will continue. Please join me in a moment of silence and respect and pray for Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's family. Amen. Due to the number of speakers, the rules require us to only give 1 minute per speaker. As long as we're being respectful of the family and making progress, which I know we will, I'm going to be very generous with our time today. This 1 minute rule was here when I got here, having chaired hundreds, if not thousands, of committee meetings in Austin. When someone is sincere, making a difference, I'm not going to shut them down. But do be mindful that we have over 100 speakers. But let's go to work. Mr. Kruger.
Dan Kruger. Gina McGowan. To be followed by Esmeralda Ledesma.
Gina Magayon. I am here today to implore the Council to support an independent and thorough investigation into the murder of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, murdered by ICE. It has been stated by the mayor in the past that the city does not have jurisdiction to do so, but it can be done, and it must be done. For the sake of Houston's children, it must. I am an elementary school teacher in a Title I school in Houston ISD. The last month of this past school year, 2 of my 5th grade boys got into a physical fight. I pulled them aside and I talked to them about the importance of talking out our issues, listening to each other, respecting each other, getting a trusted adult involved in their problems. And my 5th grade student looks me in the eyes and says, "That's not real life, miss. ICE wouldn't do that to me. Police don't do that. They fight. They'd hurt us." What could I say to him? What will I say in August after a father was murdered in our streets? We are teaching our children to expect violence towards them. So please, for my students, for our children, justice for Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. This is on all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Esmeralda Ledesma. To be followed by William Brooker.
Okay. What happened last week to Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was unbelievable. One of our community members was ripped from us. A father, a husband, a Houstonian. Our city council talks frequently about public safety, but who is this safety for? 1 in 4 Houstonians are foreign-born. What about the safety of our immigrant community? This city must do everything it can to end or limit ICE enforcement in our city and make these streets safer for us all. ICE has no place here. We need an investigation from the city of what happened. We need the agents and this agency to be held accountable, and we need ICE out of Houston. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. Councilmember Salinas.
Yes, I'd like to move to suspend the rules to add Javon Tyler to the end of the 3-minute non-agenda list.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
William Brooker.
Hi, my name is Bill Brooker, and I live in District C. Mayor Whitmire, I believe you worked with your ICE-supporting Republican pals Greg Abbott and HPOU to sabotage even mild limits on ICE actions in Houston. Now ICE is apparently hunting random brown people on our streets. We don't even know if Salgado's killers are hunting immigrants in Houston right now. Now you say you want accountability for ICE. I'm skeptical. Prove me wrong, Mr. Mayor. You have leverage. Use it. For example, you can announce that the city will suspend support of the 2028 GOP convention until the Trump administration fully cooperates. Mr. Mayor, we don't need another taxpayer-funded sports event or another taxpayer-funded convention payday for insiders. They can wait. We need justice for Lorenzo. Thank you.
Next.
Maureen O'Connell. To be followed by Jake Kushner.
Good afternoon. I'm Sister Maureen O'Connell. I'm a Dominican sister and a member of the Migration with Dignity Coalition and a citizen of the city of Houston. I'm here to express my frustration and anger at the weaponization of our federal government and the terror that many of our neighbors and friends are feeling. Many years ago, I was a Chicago police officer for 13 years, and I'm appalled at the unprofessional and irresponsible behavior that we are seeing from ICE and Homeland Security. These people clearly lack training. They lack their understanding of what they should be doing in their role as law enforcement personnel. The murder of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo last week demands that we as citizens stand for what, not only for the Araujo family, but for our neighbors, our friends, and our family, and demand accountability and an end to the lack of humanity and care that we're expressing at the hands of our federal government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Jake Kushner. Paige Richardson. Danny Hernandez. Nicholas Green. No. Brian Lisco of Sugarland. Camila Amador. To be followed by Christopher Colin Herrera.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. My name is Camila Galindo Marod, the 16-year-old daughter of 2 immigrants and somebody who holds fear for the future of my generation in this beautiful city. I aspire for a Houston where its government values accountability, justice, and community over complacency. And my ask is simple. It's for measurable action from y'all as our elected officials. Y'all say it's a difficult case to navigate, but I ask that y'all do the following with the city's funding, something that y'all do have control over. Please protect the people who call Houston home. Fight to stop the halt of the county-level taxpayer-funded defense program so witnesses and community members facing immigration enforcement have access to immediate legal support. And launch a multilingual Know Your Rights campaign so residents and small business owners all fully understand their rights in a city where the policy is ever so changing. Please do not let state mandates prevent you from protecting the people who you serve. Bring transparency, safety, and promise into my generation's future. Thank you.
Just a second, ma'am. Councilmember Panzarella.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Camila, for being here. And I'm just really proud to see so many District C residents here today speaking out on what happened here in Houston recently. And I'm not going to speak after every single resident because there's a lot of speakers here today, but I just want to say I share your sentiments and I feel exactly what you're feeling. What we understand is that Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was killed by ICE agents, but he was not the target they were looking for.
Correct.
They attacked him because he was brown and because he looked like every other immigrant that lives here in Houston. Yesterday, ICE killed again in Maine. This time, and without accountability, this will not be the last time. To everyone here today using your voice does matter, and it is working, as the mayor pointed out. We have already seen changes at the national level from ICE, and I encourage you to continue speaking, to continue to be loud. And there is only one way to really end this, and it's to abolish ICE. And I stand by that, and I hope we can work together to figure this out. Thank you.
I really appreciate hearing that from you, and I hope that's reflected across the council. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Christopher Colon Herrero, to be followed by Maury Bird Lucas.
Good afternoon, members of the council. I'm here today to stand with our community and say, we don't want ICE, we want justice. The murder of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was a senseless act of violence, and the ones that were responsible must be held accountable. We cannot rely on the investigation of an entity that has been caught in a lie after a lie. They have shown us that they don't care about justice nor about truth. We condemn their abusive tactics and their illegal behaviors. I'm asking you to join us publicly, amplify our voice, and echo them. We don't want violence roaming our streets. We don't want corruption influencing our people. We don't want mass bigots abusing their power. We don't want ICE. We want justice. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Maury Bird Lucas. To be followed by Cameron Watterson of Spring.
I just got here, so good timing. Thank you for allowing me. My name is Maury Bird Lucas. I'm a resident citizen here in Houston, and I'm calling on you, Mayor and Council, to request an official investigation into the murder of Lorenzo the other day in Houston. Those of you, I especially thank Councilmember Panzarella, Salinas. Sorry, I don't have the rest of my notes quite ready. Those of you who initially spoke up and have spoke up, and Commissioner Pollard, thank you very much. Those of you who remain silent and on the sidelines, I have to assume that you condone the torture, the pulling up of citizens off of our streets. It's despicable, and your silence means that you condone it, and it's not okay. Thank you.
Next.
Cameron Watterson of Spring. To be followed by Frida Hale.
We first warned that if our tax dollars fund companies like Halliburton, Maersk, and Flock, Houston risks the same tools of oppression we bankroll abroad, like mass surveillance, militarized policing, land theft, and now murder, to be normalized here, and we were ignored for profit. We warned, and now even a Harris County DA says, when Houston collaborates with ICE, it breaks the foundation between the city and communities. Victims are afraid to report crimes, and witnesses will stay silent because neighbors fear a call for help could mean detention or death. Yet we were ignored. We warned that a father who dies in a bread line in Gaza is no different than any immigrant who leaves for work in the morning and is killed or kidnapped by ICE, for both do not get to return home or to their families. Houston's revoking of the city ordinance with ICE is violence. Houston's capitulation and allowance for Flock to put a camera on every corner of our streets is violence. Our mayor's inability to be proactive rather than reactive to violence is violence itself against our immigrant communities, especially the marginalized communities as well along with them. So again, I say you've made our city a martyr, just like the ones you won't acknowledge abroad. You have brought the same murder to the innocent here, which cannot be ignored. R.I.P. Lorenzo. Demand all evidence be shared for private investigation and the naming of the officer. And to Houstonians, we cannot change what has happened, and it is not about a father being killed in Houston. It is about what Houston does when a father is killed in our city. So organize, for if there are no immigrants' rights, there are no rights, for there can be no freedom unless we are all free. Justicia para Lorenzo.
Next.
Frida Hale, to be followed by Monica Hatcher.
Hello, my name is Frida Hale, and I'm here with Migration with Dignity Coalition. I would like to address the necessity and critical importance of an investigation into the tragic shooting of the death of Lorenzo. Without the facts and without the truth from our local trusted authorities, how can we prevent this from happening again? When established members of our communities are chased by unmarked vehicles and men that are unidentified, armed, and masked, that kind of fear permeates our entire city. Houston is making strides in becoming a very safe city, and feeling safe impacts every aspect of our lives here. I'm asking you to resist any pressure that deters you from continuing this local investigation until the facts are established, the truth is revealed, and every member of our community can feel safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Monica Hatcher, to be followed by Salamu Alimasi.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council members. My name is Monica Hatcher. I live in Spring Branch in Councilmember Peck's district. I'm here today with the Migration with Dignity Coalition, also to urge you to please use your influence and your voices to represent our interests here as Houstonians. ICE, the federal government, says immigration enforcement is about community safety. I work in a convent in the East End. That's right on South Wayside Drive. I drive that road every day, every morning. I'm not safe, and nobody is safe when there are rogue law enforcement agents in unmarked cars shooting their guns at random people who they don't even know. It's barbaric, it's uncivilized, it's un-American, and it's so unworthy of us as Houstonians. So I hope that I see all of you speaking very loudly to our federal officials to demand justice for Lorenzo and for Houston. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Salamu Alimasi, to be followed by Danny Hatcher. I'm sorry. Danny Hernandez.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Salem Alimasi with CWS, and I'm proud Houstonian. Today we gather with deep grief in our hearts. We remember Lorenzo, our father, our brother, and we hold close every family in our community carrying pain of loss. This sorrow is real. For many of us, this is personal. Leaving home, coming to find peace, but being separated from your loved one. We honor the dignity, the courage, the resilience of a new American and the new community who continue to rebuild their lives and strengthen our city even while carrying wounds that many cannot see. I sincerely urge you to stand with the community that is grieving. Remember all are crying. Protect the health of those without worth. May our grief move us toward justice, and may our hope keep us together. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Danny Hernandez. To be followed by Matt Kennard.
Good morning. My name is Dani Hernandez, and I am on the... Okay. I hope my time starts over. My name is Dani Hernandez. I'm on the HISD elected board. I'm also the president of East Lawndale, and that is a neighborhood right next to Magnolia Park. It's deeply upsetting that the city of Houston has not taken a stronger stance against ICE. The remain quiet approach is supposed to keep our community safe, but our residents don't feel safe, and now we have a Houstonian that was murdered. There are many times that the East End has called on city council for help and support, but no one is listening. I'm here again as a community member and a lifetime resident of the East End. I want to thank council members who worked in the previous resolution to limit HPD coordination with ICE, but the eventual gutting of the resolution in order to bend the knee to Abbott only served to legitimize ICE operations in our city. I want to thank the council members who called for an independent investigation of ICE for the murder of Lorenzo Salgado before it became politically convenient. I also want to point out that there is also somebody who, our District I council member who is not here today, who represents the East End. We need to stop making sure that the East End doesn't get the short end of the stick anymore.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Hernandez, your council member, Councilmember Martinez, is not here today, but his staff is here. Juan Pablo is over there by the door, and he just wanted me to let you and any of his constituents know to please contact his office if you'd like to have further conversation.
Thank you. We can contact his office, but his presence is obviously needed right now in the city of Houston.
One second. Councilmember Salinas. Okay, I'm sorry. Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank you for your words. Thank you for being here and your leadership. And for everyone who is here, as mentioned before, I won't speak after every single speaker, but I do think it's important to let you all know how I'm feeling about this situation as well. When we hear about a call for an independent investigation, that's very vague. I think it needs to be extremely direct. I think it needs to be coming from the city. We have one of the largest police departments in the nation with resources in abundance. And I know that they're fully capable and qualified to do a task to bring forth clarity, answers, insight, because there was a Houstonian that was killed. And Houstonians have to take the lead on that investigation. I don't believe that we need to wait for the federal government or state agencies to get involved when we can take the lead ourselves. And so I think we need to really get away from just the ambiguous term of independent investigation and put it on ourselves to take the lead. And I think Houston is looking for us to lead, and Houston deserves for us to lead. And so that's my call and my hope. So thank you very much for your words.
Thank you. I completely agree with you.
Next.
Thank you.
Matt Kennard. Matt Kennard. No. Frida Adame. To be followed by Katie Thibodeau.
Hello, my name is Frida. I am an immigrant residing in the city of Houston. On January 27th, I stood at this podium demanding ICE out of Houston. I asked this council, must you wait until it happens here in Houston? Must one of your own die before you act? You did nothing. Now, a Houstonian is dead. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo left for work expecting to come back to his wife. He never made it back. He was shot and killed by an ICE agent with no body cam, may I add. You failed our community. How many more? How many more must die before you finally grow a backbone and do something? We are being hunted like dogs. We are getting killed, and no one is doing anything. I could be next. I'm brown. I'm an immigrant. Who is it going to be next? Enough thoughts and prayers, enough statements. We need action. No action is complicity. It's time to act, protect everyone who calls Houston home, regardless of our skin color or our immigration status. We do not deserve to die because we do not have a paper. Do something. It's your job to protect all of us. ICE out of Houston and justice for Lorenzo.
Councilmember Evans Chavez.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, I don't want to get emotional because this is a very, very sensitive issue. One that certainly I am appalled at what has transpired. I am glad that the district attorney has made the determination that there will be an investigation. But what I want people to realize that are sitting in the audience, please register to vote, because that's where we are. Because there is very little that we can do without you going to the polls and letting your voices be heard to change the leadership that can really make a difference. So don't just put it all on us, because if we had the power to do it, you could best believe that it would be done. But without you going and taking responsibility for changing the leadership that is more sensitive to people black and brown and people in general, the sensitivity, there's very little we can do. So make sure that you're doing everything that you can do come November and in the future for any time that we are voting. Because I believe that everybody here is appalled, but it's not much we can do if we don't have you doing more than coming and talking and protesting. We need you at the polls. So thank you. And justice is only going to come when you change the leadership. And that is what is necessary, because this body would do it all if we could, but we cannot. So we're not going to have a shouting match, because everybody sitting here, I think, was appalled and very, very upset when they found out what was going on. But you can't just sit there and say, do this, do that, and you're not doing what you need to do at the polls. So thank you, Mayor.
All right, please. Councilmember Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to suspend the rules to make a procedural motion to add Andrew Patterson to the end of the 3-minute agenda list.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Yes, sir. Next.
Katie Thibodeau, to be followed by Cesar Espinosa.
Hello, fellow Houstonians. I am a HISD high school student. Speak on behalf of murderers in our city. ICE do not belong here. They kill innocent people. Papers or not, we need to stand for them. They're human beings. We are not supposed to be killing human beings, are we? Are we, though? Because, am I the only one here that feels like this is crazy? Are we? Am I the only one here? No? No? Y'all are the ones that have to have the jobs to help us. We cannot get an 8-year degree, just to do this. Y'all need to help us too. We're not doing everything we can without y'all. I'm just a 17-year-old. But y'all need to stand up for Houston, because we cannot do anything but go to college and get an 8-year degree and wait for 20 more years to where y'all at right now. We need to stand for Houston. This cannot be right. We need to stand for Houston. Have we learned nothing in our textbooks at all? I remember, we took land from Native Americans. We hurt enslaved people, and now this gotta stop.
Next.
Cesar Espinosa, to be followed by Gian Thomas.
Before I get started, if you believe in justice for Lorenzo, stand up right now. I want you to see this, council, and I want you to see this, mayor. And today, I brought with me enough copies of 3 independent investigations that the city of Houston has launched against federal law enforcement and have won. So for those to say that it cannot be done, here is proof, independent proof, that it can be done. I will turn this over to the city secretary because I'm tired of the lying. I'm tired of the deceiving of this administration on a variety of levels, trying to look for the easy way out, not taking accountability. We must not make excuses. And for those people who say that voting is the only answer, I remind you, there is 1 million people, including myself, 350,000 LPRs, and 600,000 undocumented people. 1 million people in the city of Houston that do not have the power to vote. But we exist, and we have a voice. Listen to us. And on behalf of the Salgado family, I just talked to Lorenzo. He does say thank you for shutting down the street and allowing his mom to grieve. Thank you for that. But he is also encouraging you to make the right choice and launch an independent investigation and win for Lorenzo Salgado Araujo and his family.
Councilor Pedrola.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Cesar, for being here. Thank you for the work you do with Fiel. It's an amazing and important organization fighting for the immigrant community here in Houston. I just want to reiterate again that Houston is a city of immigrants. It always has been, and it always will be. And we will fight for justice for Lorenzo. And it starts with an independent investigation, and we're going to see that through. So thank you for this.
Thank you so much, and we need it immediately, ASAP. It should have already been done, and I hope that we encourage all of City Council and our mayor to do just that. And I also want to acknowledge the people that are outside that couldn't come inside. I want us to hear them, because this is Houston calling for justice.
Next.
Gian Thomas. Helen Taylor. To be followed by Denise Wilborn.
Hi, my name is Ella Taylor. I live in City Council District C. When it comes to ICE, Houston can't rely on the federal or state government to assure accountability because they won't. Our local officials have to. When it comes to, please ensure that you do everything within your authority to investigate Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's death, not only for his family but for everyone in our city. First, his family needs justice, but if we don't investigate this, it also sends the message that ICE can operate in Houston and kill people without consequences. All Houstonians deserve to be able to safely exist in our city. We shouldn't have to fear ICE driving around Houston in unmarked cars, stopping anyone they suspect of being an immigrant, with the ability to kill people without being held accountable. Please use every tool available to ensure accountability for this murder, justice for this family, and to protect all Houstonians in the future. Thank you. Also, you asked people to vote. I already vote. I'm pretty sure most people here who can vote, vote. And I know that most of us vote, and we voted for our reps here so that they can act in our interest.
Next.
Denise Wilborn. Brandon Than. Nicole Navarro, to be followed by Melissa Yarborough.
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. My name is Nicole Navarro, and I'm a recent health graduate from the University of Houston. My time in my career has been spent ensuring that Houstonians are safe, educated, and healthy, and that commitment is what brings me here today. In recent months, increased and aggressive attacks from ICE have placed Houstonians in a state of constant fear. Their officers have terrorized our communities. Families have been ripped apart as unmarked vans haul fathers and mothers to detention centers, leaving their relatives wondering where they are, if they're safe, if they're alive. These attacks cannot continue. I call on Mayor Whitmire and the City Council to actually do something that shows that you care about the people that put you in office. I am asking the City Council to turn their attention to the following. Number one, stricter ordinances that limit collaboration between ICE and HPD. And number two, in order to function in our city, ICE must be held to these standards. A total ban on gear or apparel designed to mask their identity, the mandatory use of active recording body cameras at all times, and prohibiting the use of unmarked vehicles that allow agents to stalk our neighborhoods in secret. Mayor Whitmire, it is time for you to act like the mayor you promised to be and stand up for Houstonians. Stand up for families who are afraid. Stand up for all those who call the city home.
Thank you. Next. Councilor Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules to add Lupe Mendez to the 2-minute non-agenda list at the bottom.
Second. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next.
Melissa Yarborough.
Not yet.
Kristen Contreras. To be followed by Bianca Santorini.
Hello, everyone. Okay. First, I want to take time to say thank you for being here, everyone in the audience, the city members. Your voice matters now more than ever, obviously, and I won't be talking about the agenda today because there are more pressing issues at hand. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Christian Contreras. I was born and raised in Houston, and through the support of my parents, I was able to graduate high school and college here in the city of Houston. I stand before you as a certified teacher of Texas, and I use that education to create more opportunities for students in middle school and high school. I take pride in the work that I do, but I must recognize that it would not be possible had my parents not come and laid their roots in this amazing city we call Houston. This is the reality of a lot of children of immigrant parents. Most of us have grown up hearing about college since we were kids because our parents want us to live a life better than the ones they live. One filled with higher education, job opportunities, and a chance at living the American dream. I say all this to humanize the word immigrant because I feel as though lately a large population has made the word synonymous to criminal. It would be a disservice for me as a U.S. citizen to not speak up for my community. Today marks a full week since ICE agents not only murdered but chased down an innocent, hardworking man, a father, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. There are no answers yet. ICE has already claimed another life up in Maine. So I need to ask, when did politicians stop fighting for us? When did they let armed men run through our cities with guns and terrorize our hardworking residents? Why are ICE agents taking immigrant parents from schools? Why are we allowing them to take our community members and putting them into overcrowded facilities and sometimes even cages? What are you all for if not to serve the people? The mistreatment of Latin Americans will not be forgotten. And I leave you with this warning. Every year, a bunch of children to immigrant parents are eligible to vote. And social media has made it very easy for them to see all the events that are taking place. And I can assure you that they will not be voting for politicians that allow modern-day Nazis to publicly execute our people and put them into modern-day concentration camps like they did the Japanese Americans in 1942. Let us not repeat America's ugly history, and let us continue the diversity that has always existed in Houston. Thank you so much.
Next.
Bianca Santorini. to be followed by Dustin Rhodes of Missouri City.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So my name is Bianca Santorini. I'm an attorney here in Houston. I practice criminal and immigration law. Council members, first of all, I do want to recognize that there has been some action on behalf of city leadership, and I want to thank you for that. I know, Mayor, how hard it is to maybe have one idea of what is going on, and then it seems like when you met with the family, you realized how bad the tactics used by this agency really are. I do recognize that the DA has issued subpoenas. I also want to recognize and let everybody know that this is a start. It doesn't happen everywhere. The subpoenas, the labeling his death as a homicide, all those things matter, and I sincerely thank you for those actions. Now, as an attorney, I've been trained to try to root my arguments in facts and not emotion. Although this is a very emotional situation, I'm not surprised that we are here. So, my office is in District J, where I practiced most of my career. Late October of 2025, I accompanied one of my clients to an ICE check-in here at 126 North Point. At the conclusion of that interview with the ICE officer, when I was walking out and speaking to a supervisor, he made a comment to the effect of, it was about to be Halloween weekend, and he made a comment to the effect of, well, I think we'll be handing out a little bit more tricks than treats. And I say that, and it's important because it shows the culture going on in this institution right now. So when he said that, I thought, you know what? Something's going to go on this Friday. Something's going to go on this weekend. And they always hit a certain area in District J, and they did. They hit Club Creek. And so what I did, which my mom was not very excited about, I got up and I went to work at about 5:15 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. It was me, my cell phone, and God. And what I witnessed out there resonated with the mayor when he changed his position, as some will say, but it's not really a change of position. It's when you're presented with facts that make you say, whoa, what the hell did I just see? And so I understand it, and I thank you for moving in the right direction. On Club Creek, I was present and I saw the same things. I saw what we see on TV. I saw windows being busted open. I saw people being dragged out of vehicles. So I went live on Facebook. I went live because I was scared that I would not get a chance to post the video if I didn't go live. And everything that I caught was such a pervasion to what we know as due process in the United States. Because the way that a civilized society carries out laws is through arrest, through court proceedings, and due process. And I'm going to wrap this up. Let me just tell you, when I left that scene, and I had a lot of recordings and I had a lot of interactions, when I left on the way to my office, I ran up on a scene where an ICE officer had done exactly what he did to Lorenzo. He stopped, he pit maneuvered a van that was driven by a 72-year-old black man who was volunteering for a church, driving a van full of mentally incapacitated adults who were going to an adult daycare for the day because he thought he had got a big hit. This was all caught on video. And so the reason I came today is because we say that we want to move in that direction. Well, I have what the young people call receipts. And I have here enough copies for everybody. And what I have is, after I witnessed this, I have this all on video. After I witnessed this, I was contacted by another individual who's a U.S. citizen. That same day, on that same operation, he was pit maneuvered again. It's all on video. And he was maced within the confines of his vehicle by masked men. Guess what he did?
Thank you.
I have the copies here.
We'll hand them out. Councilman Panzarella.
Thank you, Mayor.
He called 911. There's a 911.
Come on, ma'am. We've been very cooperative.
Excuse me, I want to just have a quick comment. Yeah, I know I said I wouldn't comment after everyone, but this is an important conversation. I want to thank you for that anecdote because what I've been saying lately is that ICE is an untrained and unqualified and frankly a dangerous organization, and I just want to reiterate my sentiments that ICE should be abolished, and I appreciate you for bringing that context because, again, Houston is an immigrant city and the actions with which they act are very, very dangerous, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Councilman Thomas.
Procedural motion. I move to suspend.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll hand that out for you.
Procedural motion.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so I can continue?
No, I'm on
No, ma'am,
procedural
we're
motion.
through.
Oh, okay.
We've
Thank
given
you.
you ample time.
Procedural motion to move to suspend the rules, to move former council member Robert Gallegos as the next speaker. Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. So done.
No, Gallegos.
Robert Gallegos.
Thank you. I'm Robert Gallegos, former District I council member, and I'm also the proud son of immigrants. And I'm appalled that our council member, Joaquin Martinez, who represents District I, is not here today. It has been a week since Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was gunned down and murdered by ICE agents. Days after the shooting, DHS has stated he was not the targeted person. It was a case of mistaken identity. So in other words, he was racially profiled and gunned down by ICE for being brown. The federal government has failed us. Hispanics make up 46% of Houston's population. We are the largest ethnic group in Harris County and in Texas. Governor Abbott was quick to threaten $114 million in public safety for Houston in support of ICE. If City Council didn't reverse the approved ICE ordinance, and unfortunately, the mayor and most of City Council voted to do so, now we have an ICE murder on Houston streets. It's been a week since the murder of Lorenzo. Governor Abbott and other state GOP leaders have not mentioned the shooting, have not extended their condolences to the family. This is shocking, but not surprising. I ask that we take our anger to the polls come November and we vote them out. But what is extremely disappointing and concerning is that the 6 GOP council members around this horseshoe have failed us too, for not publicly demanding an independent investigation, and your lack of compassion to publicly offer your condolences to the wife and sons of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. Shame on y'all.
Ms. Roberts. Let him go. Next.
Dustin Rhodes of Missouri City. To be followed by Olivia Smith.
Hello, my name is Dustin Rhodes and I'm a high school student in Houston. I, like many others, am here to make it clear that ICE is not welcome in this city and that their killing of Lorenzo Salgado cannot be treated with disregard. We are told that ICE is here because our streets are flooded with dangerous criminals, that they were sent at the word of a felon. They claim to be here to detain the worst of the worst, yet a beloved father is dead. We have eyes, we have ears, and we are paying attention. If you use your ears right now, you'll hear the chants at the steps of this building. There is no point to pretending that ICE is here to protect us, and any attempt to continue that lie will only show that our safety is not your concern. ICE has failed to support their version of the killing in any way, and after we have watched them plainly execute 3 Americans, I personally do not believe them. This city, you, have an obligation for its people and for its decency to independently investigate the killing, to reject flock security, and to stand up and fight the presence of ICE in Houston. You can be damn sure that I'll be voting next year, but right now, I'm in the benches. You are on the council. So no matter what kind words you all use here today, inaction will not be tolerated. And there will be consequences to the actions of each and every one of you.
Next.
That is all.
Olivia Smith. To be followed by Stephanie Padilla.
Good afternoon, Council, but more importantly, good afternoon to the community that's here. Right now, our community is grieving. We grieve the loss of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a father, a friend, a neighbor, a Houstonian. Your position as city council members is to represent the interests of the community, and the community is here demanding proper use of our tax dollars to bring charges upon the federally sanctioned masked criminals terrorizing our citizens. We demand that the agent or agents be identified immediately and be held accountable for their horrendous crimes. They acted illegally and murdered an innocent man simply for being brown. Where is the law and order in that? It has never been about law and order. It has always been about preserving the deeply ingrained culture of white supremacy, working hand in hand with pursuit of profit. Houston is one of the most diverse cities in this country. That means this is a city of immigrants. They run your public transport, they cook your food, they look after your children, and like Lorenzo, they build your houses. They break their backs in the name of giving their families a better life, and they deserve to be honored for that, documented or not. Nobody ever deserves to be gunned down in the street over a piece of paper. It is the civic duty, but also the moral responsibility of this council, Mayor Whitmire, and the Harris County DA to hold those responsible accountable for this unacceptable violence. I want to take a moment to speak to those of us in this room and beyond who are afraid. People afraid to speak out or take action for fear of significant consequences. I ask you, when our neighbors are being gunned down in the streets, what more do we have to lose after the loss of one human life, let alone the many that have already been murdered by ICE this year alone? 2 innocent fathers in just 1 week. They want to silence us. They want us to be afraid. Those of us who are able have a duty to stand up and say, not one more. Abolish ICE. Justicia para Lorenzo. Justicia para todos los asesinados por ICE.
Next. Stephanie Padilla, to be followed by Norma Garza.
Well, I want to clarify because I don't think people know what's happening. There's been a third death. I don't know if everybody's in the loop right now, but there is a third death that happened this morning in Miami because the man was fleeing from ICE and got struck by a vehicle. So let's settle on that. That's 3 in 7 days, not including our own. I'm not going to come here and speak to you and berate what you should do because I don't believe you even care to listen. She has proven it the entire time you've been on your phone being disrespectful to the entire community, requesting us to vote, but you can't even give us your undivided attention for a few minutes, right? That much. I am here for one purpose. I am IYT. I am Immigrating Youth Texas, and I am here not just for the community, but for all of Houston. So I'm going to invite every single person sitting here today to come out on Sunday without a political agenda to protest for the justice that we are requesting for Mr. Lorenzo's family. I know you guys probably have never attended a protest, or if you have, it's probably because there was a camera there. But leadership isn't about showing up. I have come time and time again and spoken with you about collaborating and working together, and I quite literally don't know what else is going to take. Oh, you don't remember when the kids came out
Thank you, ma'am.
in March? Oh, now you don't want to talk. Got it.
Next.
Norma Garza. Lupe Mendez. Oh, to be followed by Lupe Mendez.
My name's Norma Motu Garza, for the record. Norma Motu. I go by Norma Motu. There's a scene in the movie, Set It Off, that asks a simple question. What is a protocol when someone has a gun pointed to your head? The truth is, fear doesn't follow a procedure. I know because I've had a gun pointed at my head. And in that moment, your heart races, your body goes into survival mode. You don't calmly analyze every detail. You don't ask yourself if that person approaching is law enforcement or someone intending to harm you. You react because you believe your life is in danger. Lorenzo Salgado, Arugo, in the morning hours, was being followed by unmarked vehicles. I cannot tell you exactly what was going through his mind, but I do know what fear feels like. When your body believes your life is in danger, it doesn't stop to think about procedures. It doesn't calmly analyze who is behind you and what their intentions are. You go into survival mode. Again, my name is Norma Motu, and I come to you as a granddaughter of a World War II veteran and a father of a Mexican immigrant and an educator teaching children of Houston, including in the East End. a business owner and a community advocate. I'm not here to debate immigration policies because I know the difference. I've gone to South Texas College of Law, and I understand and respect procedures. But during the COVID pandemic, I was a contact tracer and then became a COVID administrator. During that time, we watched federal, state, and local governments work together because protecting human life mattered. We educated communities, shared information, we adapted. Why should this be any different when it comes to public safety? If federal immigration enforcement must take place in our neighborhoods, then leaders at every level should work together to reduce unnecessary fear, improve communication, encourage de-escalation at all times, and protect the public safety they swore to serve. Public safety and human dignity should never be opposites. As an educator, you already know what we do. Our government should be held to the same values as our children are being taught. Families in our communities live with fear every day and feel judged or treated differently because of the color of their skin or because they are perceived to be immigrants. Whether we are born here or not, the color of our skin should not determine how safe they feel in their own community. Fear is real. Fear changes how people respond. Today I'm asking you to do what is right. Transparent investigation for Lorenzo Salgado Arugo so facts can be fully examined. No family should ever have to go through this and endure this kind of loss without clear answers.
Thank you, ma'am.
If I need to, I can help with educating ICE agents, just like I created a COVID education that actually won at the CDC Atlanta. We put together COVID education. We can put together an ICE coalition training if I need to be a part of that.
Okay.
I will.
Thank you. Thank you. Good presentation.
Again, thank you, Mario Castillo, for letting me talk, and thank you, Joaquin Martinez, for at least calling you from where he needs to be so that we could be here.
Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules to add Kendrick Sampson at the bottom of the 3-minute non-agenda list.
Very good. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next.
Lupe Mendez. Yeah. To be followed by Nicholas Green.
Greetings. My name is Guadalupe Mendez, Texas Poet Laureate Emeritus, and I come here with you to demand that you protect our families as best you can. You've already heard and will continue to hear calls for an investigation to the death of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. Continue to advocate for your constituents as much as you can, but I also ask that you think and strategize going forward, not reactively, on what you plan to do to assist families that have been negatively impacted by the inexcusable actions of agents from ICE. So many families have been affected by this lawlessness. The Salgados and so many other families should not have to resort to GoFundMe projects to support them when loved ones are disappeared or worse, killed. Schools should not have to design plans for their undocumented students to keep their families safe. Yes to, my screen not giving out. Yes to an investigation, but also your support is needed for our families. What will you decide to do next? There are people outside right now calling for change, and the next move is yours, Mayor. ICE out of Houston. Justicia para Lorenzo Salgado Araujo.
Thank you. Next.
Bullets fragment on impact. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was murdered on Tuesday, July 7th
by an ICE agent with a fatal bullet to his stomach. Not only did that bullet take a loving member of our community, it also fragmented and impacted each one of us by establishing the precedence that an ICE agent can murder whoever they want, whenever they want in the Houston city. When one Houstonian's rights are tarnished, every Houstonian's rights are tarnished. It is by their very nature that rights are collective and communal. We cannot turn a blind eye to this event simply because we were not shot or we did not lose a family member. But we can resist ICE. All I'm asking is that there is an independent investigation opened into his death. It is being framed that all we can do is register to vote and cross our fingers that ICE agents don't mow down any of our community members, as if our city is helpless and powerless. But we are not. If we resist and call for an independent investigation, it will also certainly fragment and benefit every member of this city by defending them from ICE. I hope that you recognize bullets fragment on impact, but so does resistance.
Next.
Frederick Wagner. Anna Bertha Vera. Will Hill. Oh, wait. Are you Miss Vera?
Sí, soy yo. Necesito intérprete.
Move over to the mic, ma'am.
Por favor, si puedes hablar en el micrófono.
Damn, I didn't.
Señor alcalde, mi nombre es Ana Berta Vera. Primer pregunta, ¿dónde está el dinero para las cámaras que prometieron para ICE? Segundo, ¿qué hace con el dinero para arreglar ¿Qué hacen con el dinero para las calles que siempre cada que llueve nos hundemos? También usted y el jefe de policía y el gobernador, ustedes se vendieron con el pedófilo de la Casa Blanca. Por eso están todos los desastres y por eso andan los ICE desatados, matando a nuestra gente. Por nuestra gente la economía va adelante, pero ya se fregó todo. Para abajo va todo. Por culpa del presidente y de ustedes que se vendieron. Estamos en una ruina. Y si sigamos así, vamos para abajo. Otra vez, en noviembre, según ya dieron las noticias, el presidente nos quiere hacer chapuza con las votaciones. Y eso no lo vamos a permitir. Ya no queremos más magas aquí, destruyendo nuestro país. Segundo, también que por nosotros, ustedes reciben su sueldo y tienen que hacer su trabajo y ya basta de mentiras. Otro también, pidemos justicia por Lorenzo, porque nomás dicen estamos investigando y que estamos investigando. Eso ya lo sabemos, pero no sabemos cuándo se llega ese día. El lunes, ayer, mataron a otro hombre joven de 26 años, no aquí en el otro estado. Lo atribuyeron a tiros. Ese señor llevaba a su niña de 3 años. ¿Y qué pasó? Lo mataron enfrente de su niña. Estos hombres son unos salvajes, son unos animales, dispensándome la palabra. porque no tienen conciencia, no tienen nada. Y ya estamos hasta aquí. Me duele mucho ver a mi gente en esa condición. ¿Y sabe por qué? Porque yo sufrí también en California. Muchos años atrás trabajé duro en California. Entonces, yo ya sé cómo me trataron también. Me discriminaban. Me duele mucho que está pasando esto. Ya basta. Y si no salimos a votar el día en noviembre, ya nos llevó a la tristeza. Salgamos a votar todos para que ya ese país salga adelante. Y muchas gracias por todo.
Will Hill. Dr. Myron Hopes of Conroe. To be followed by Melvin Williams.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for having me. I'm not the authority for veterans, but as a disabled veteran, I am here speaking on behalf of all the disabled veterans who use the Houston Airport system. Disabled veterans enjoy complimentary parking, and while it is a privilege to enjoy this parking, it should not be met with such harsh restrictions. My petition to this mayor, to this council, to this city is that you all consider removing or making an exception to the parking that is granted to veterans, to disabled veterans, for bullet number 4. I had made some copies because it talks about how do you qualify. And real quickly, this 4th point, the first 3 are good. I'm not talking about the amount of days. I'm not talking about the time. But this 4th point says you must provide current, original, unexpired DMV vehicle registration renewal paper receipt. There are veterans who are disabled veterans who are driving in vehicles that display the disabled veteran license plate who may not be on the registration for that vehicle. And I just believe they should be granted the opportunity to still receive that complimentary parking. And all I'm asking you all is that you all consider removing that 4th bullet that says, as a disabled veteran, you have to be on the registration. I mean, if you're going to give the complimentary parking, give it. But if you're going to restrict it, remove it. My argument is simple. I think the council, the city, the Houston Airport system should consider removing that 4th bullet and let the veterans enjoy the complimentary parking that you all have given them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next.
Melvin Williams.
Well, he went in there.
Melvin Williams. Griselda Hernandez. To be followed by Brenda Samuel.
Mayor Whitmire. Mayor Whitmire, can I ask you a question? And I want you to, look at me when I'm asking you these questions because I see you glazing off, okay? Do you have any kids or do you have any grandkids?
Please testify, ma'am.
No, I'm asking you a question. You work for me. I'm asking you. I pay your check. Do you have any kids?
Fine.
No, I'm asking you.
Well,
because let me tell you something.
not the purpose.
I'm going to tell you something, okay? Would you, and you look at me when I'm talking to you. Do you want any of your kids being hunted down like animals as what they did to our native brother? How would you like that? You wouldn't like that, would you? Exactly, because you can't answer the question. Think about it. One of your relatives, helpless, while 7 men one helpless man by 7 men getting beaten down. You wouldn't want that. pretty sure any one of you people that are on this staff would want it. Justice for Lorenzo. And by all of you, we pay your paychecks. By you're here is because of our vote. We pay for all of you. Without us, you're nothing, man. You sold us out. You know what I mean. You know what you did? The flock cameras that you have invested without us consent, you wasted that money instead of fixing our potholes, our sewer, our trash bins now look like crap. But you worry about yourself. You can cough all you want to, but it's the facts. And you want to know why? Because of my skin color. Because I'm brown. It's all it is about ethnic cleansing.
Next.
Brenda Samuel.
She's not here today. She had a family matters.
Okay. Doris Wesley. To be followed by Anna Brooks.
Hello, everybody. My name is Doris Wesley, and I'm 64. I'll be 65. Say what? The mic over here. Oh, that's better? Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm 64. I'll be 65 September the 3rd. I'm here because the city of Houston, let me put my eyes on here. The City of Houston Housing and Community Development Center Department Home Repair Program built a house for my husband and I, which he passed away a year after the fact. And Brenda Samuel was going to speak about her house also. I want you all to see, this is a picture of my house. The outside is really beautiful. Okay? Under the house, they built the house on top of all the rubbish of the old house. Okay? This is more pictures of rubbish. I had the inspectors to come out. They said, oh, there's nothing wrong with the house. The house is popping. Floors coming apart. I showed them that. I have a daughter that's autistic, just me and her now that my husband passed. This is my kitchen floor, where it's a big hole that's coming in here. Right here in front of my kitchen cabinet, I can't wash my dishes because it's a hole. Okay, here's another picture of how the floor coming loose. In my washroom, in front of my washing machine, big hole. The floor is coming loose. This is how they did the corking for us around the washer. It's mold right here, mold and mildew in the washroom where they got water running into the pipes. This house was built only 6 years ago. They have my deed on my house for 10 years. All the plugs are coming loose, breaking apart. Okay? Here it is, the light switches. Okay?
Ma'am,
this is in the bathroom. Mold and mildew around the toilets. Bathroom floor.
Ma'am,
apart.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Where the dryer hot water tank is.
Miss Wesley. Sal is here. Was your home repaired through the GLO, the General Land Office, or from the Housing Department?
The Housing and Community Development Department.
But
City of Houston, the home repair. It's where I own my own house. They asked my husband, due to him being a citizen, senior citizen, they was going to repair, build a house from ground up. They tore down our old house.
Right.
Which my old house, the only thing was wrong with it, the roof was leaking.
No, I
we
get
had
it.
to top
So I understand that the repairs were made by the General Land Office. I'm going to ask you to talk to Rebecca Williams from the mayor's office.
Okay.
And we can check and see if the GLO's warranty program can assist you with those home repairs, but she'll be able to help navigate you through that process.
Okay, because I spoke with Ron Jones at the city. He said I'm not the only one
I want
that
you to
has
speak
that
to
problem,
Rebecca.
and I will have to deal with it.
Okay, talk to Rebecca. She'll help you navigate that
Okay,
process.
and like I say, it's mold and mildew, and Ocean City, Ocean Lumber came out, and they the one that let me know that the house is heavily. I mean, he said it's gonna cause me bad health problems later in the year.
Okay, we'll try to help you. Yes, ma'am. Good luck.
Where's Rebecca? Right here. Okay. Let me get my.
Next.
Anna Brooks. Rita Pradier. Angela Freeman. Noel Freeman. To be followed by Rishti Tripathi.
Good afternoon. It's been a minute since I've been here. Imagine your next door neighbor running a leaf blower 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is the situation at my house because of the HVAC system at 1002 West 11th Street, which is soon going to be called Angie's Pizza. Now, this developer, the developer of the property, has a long history of bad faith. I've been dealing with the tenant, Angie's Pizza, who's taken a nicer approach, but they have done, up to this point, absolutely nothing to constructively solve the problem or even reduce the problem. And their HVAC system is running between 90 and 94 decibels at my property line, and my garage apartment is 6 feet beyond that property line. It's running 71 decibels inside. The Houston Noise Ordinance limits HVAC systems to 65 decibels or less at the receiving property line. Houston Public Works approved the creation of this nuisance. They did not take into account that this massive HVAC system would create noise. They didn't take into account that it's 14 feet from a residential dwelling. And adding insult to injury, the developer has, or the tenant has applied for or will apply for an amplified sound permit. So I've got HVAC blasting from one side of the building and music blasting from the other. I've had 3 asks, and if you will indulge me, I will tell you. Number one, I would like Mayor Whitmire to compel Public Works to force a resolution to the problem. The restaurant opened Friday night, so they have no more incentive to fix the problem. The second thing is to deny the amplified sound permit, and I would like to ask finally for this council to amend the amplified sound permit ordinance to require that written notice be sent to every property owner within 250 feet of the applicant. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Noel. Councilman Panzarella.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for being here, Noel. I'm being cut up to speed on this. I just want to say that our office is following up on it, and we'll be in contact.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Councilman Alcorn.
Hi, Noel. Good to see you. As you know, I worked on the noise ordinance a lot and would be happy to help with that. Certainly, if they're already above the approved decibel levels, they can't.
I can hear it inside my house.
Right.
With my air filters running.
Yeah, no. If they're
and my AC unit running.
If they're already over, we need to do something. So send it to me as well, and I'm happy to back up.
I sent a video to you and Councilmember Panzarella of the sound inside my garage apartment. I sent Public Works and ARA both video from outside showing it at 94 decibels at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm happy to forward that to both of your offices.
No. I mean, I'm sure we have it, and I'm sure Jordan's already sent it on, but we'll follow up on it for sure.
Houston Public Works and ARA, just for the record, have been completely non-responsive. All the times I've contacted them about the problem, not one single person has contacted me.
Okay, we'll make sure you get a response.
Great, thank you.
Rishti Tripathi, to be followed by Marcus Lastrup.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and the members of the Houston City Council. My name is Shrishti Tripathi, a resident of District F and a volunteer of Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh. It is an honor to join you in the celebrating of America's 250th anniversary. As Hindu Americans who proudly call Houston home, we are deeply grateful for the freedoms and the opportunity this nation has given us. Houston's diversity is one of the greatest strengths. Our community is proud to contribute through volunteering services, civic engagement, charitable activity, and cultural programs that make our city stronger. The guiding principle of our tradition, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. The timeless value inspires us to serve others, build bridges across communities, and contribute to the common good. To mark this historic milestone, moreover than 40 Hindu temples across Greater Houston area displayed America's 250th anniversary banners, expressing our gratitude and the blessings of liberty and our commitment to the democratic values that unite us all. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today, and congratulations to our nation's 250 years of freedom and independence. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next.
Marcus Lastrup. To be followed by George LeBlanche.
How y'all doing? How you doing, Mayor, City Councilman? I'm a resident of District B, Miss Tarsha Jackson. On May 14th, some of y'all city workers came in my yard and dug a 15-foot by 4-foot by 4-foot deep hole in my yard, replaced the pipe, and replaced the hydrant. I was waiting on the replacement of the sod and grass. No one ever came and fixed my yard. And I've been waiting and calling my city councilman and 311 for the past 2 months. Nothing has happened, and I need some results.
Will you talk, Rebecca? We'll get some action on that real quick.
Okay.
Talk to Ms. Williams.
All right, thank you.
Was it Public Works, probably?
Yeah, Public Works. They came and replaced the fire hydrant.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Talk to Ms. Williams. We'll give you some help. Oh, Councilman Salinas?
I procedural motion.
You're recognized.
Yes, I'd like to suspend the rules to move up Hannah Romero to be the next speaker.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Hannah Romero. Oh.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of Council. My name is Reverend Hannah E. Atkins Romero, and I serve as Rector of Trinity Episcopal Church in Midtown Houston. I'm a co-founder of the Migration with Dignity Coalition, a faith-based, ecumenical, local group that recently advocated for the end of non-traffic safety stops and an end to Houston Police Department collaboration with ICE. One of our members received recognition from you all at the beginning of this session for World Refugee Day. I come as a pastor, a Houstonian, and someone who has spent years walking alongside immigrant families. I'm here because the death of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo has shaken our city. I've been to several vigils over the recent week where the family members have shown up seeking support and answers. We are told that he was not the intended target. We have learned that officers were reportedly operating in unmarked vehicles and without body cameras. Fox News 26 and others quoted DHS that ICE agents were acting on a tip from their local law enforcement partners in Houston. I can only assume that that was Houston Police Department. Whether every detail is ultimately confirmed through investigation, those facts alone demand transparency and accountability. If armed officers can pursue someone in unmarked vehicles without body cameras and an innocent father can lose his life, then every Houstonian should be asking what safeguards exist to ensure that this never happens again. We especially call for the protective measures of the 3 brave witnesses, presumably undocumented as they were taken into detention centers, that Houston, that you all make sure that they are safe, that they are protected, that they are not deported, that they are able to tell the truth without fear about what happened that day. I ask this council to insist on full transparency and to do everything within your authority to protect the lives of everyone who calls Houston home, whether they have a slip of paper, a certain number, or not. And to not let Governor Abbott reverse decisions that you make as a city council. Justice is not about politics. Justice is about truth, and truth is the beginning of healing. Scripture teaches us that every human life bears the image of God. Jesus tells us in Matthew 25, I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. And in Leviticus, we hear God's command, when a stranger resides in your land, you shall not oppress the stranger. The stranger who resides with you shall be to you as a citizen among you. You shall love the stranger as yourself, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. These are not simply religious ideals. They are a call to recognize the dignity of every person, of every Houstonian. Thank you.
Thank you. Got it.
George LeBlanc. Geneva Colbert. Bowtie Bugsy. Armagon Chamkani.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know I have a difficult last name. My name is Armagan Chamkanai. I am a political and women's rights activist from Afghanistan. I come from a country where women have been systematically erased from public life. For 5 long years, girls and women have been denied their fundamental rights to education and excluded from school, universities, and many aspects of society. Today, I stand here as a proud member of the refugee community in Houston. Thank you for recognizing World Refugee Day and for honoring the strength, resilience, and contributions of refugees. I'm truly grateful for this recognition and the opportunity to be here with you today. We are kindly and respectfully asking you to work on policy that ease the fear and chaos in our communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mink Jawandor, to be followed by Sharifa Hussein.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'll start by saying world peace starts in your community. I am Professor Jawandor. I'm a proud Houstonian and a former candidate for Texas House District 149 in the International District and Arcadia area. We are here today because we are recognized as a refugee and it's a World Refugee Day. But as a former refugee, I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Councilmember Thomas and all the rest of the other council members, and especially Honorable Salinas for inviting us here. We're here today also, but we cannot ignore what's going on in our community. We're also here because of the lingering fear in our community due to the current immigration policy change. Like my colleagues say, we are kindly and respectfully asking for policy to be eased and so the fear can go away in our community. Immigrants in our community, their confidence has been tested. As a professor in college, I see this is in real time. After every class that I teach, a student come back in my class and tell me that my parents cannot leave the house 3 or 4 days now because they feel like somebody will follow them home. And if we don't work on policies that can ease this fear and chaos in our community, we're going to keep having problems like what we have right now with Lorenzo. So we just kindly and respectfully, sometimes people speak out of passion. That's why we have all this chaos from people that come here. But that's how life is. When somebody's life go away, it can't come back. So we have to understand and respect that. And we should work on policy that can change things around based on what's going on. And I want to thank everybody and thank the people that are here to sympathize with the family. And please, let's keep their family in our heart. I just want to say that. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and members of the community. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sharifa Shakira. I am Rohingya woman from Myanmar, or known as Burma, and the founder and executive director of Rohingya Women Development Network. It's a 501c here. I stand before you not only as a former refugee, but also a proud Houstonian and a proud U.S. citizen who deeply values the opportunities, the freedoms, and the responsibility this country and the city has given to me. The Rohingya people are one of the world's most persecuted minorities. Many of us fled genocide, violence, and persecution in search of safety. Houston has become home to many refugees' families. We are deeply grateful for the opportunity to rebuild our lives here. But rebuilding a life requires more than safety. It requires opportunities, inclusion, and meaningful integration. We need greater support for refugees' integration through education, English learning, language learning, workforce training, skill development, mentorship, and civic engagement. We also need guidance and access to resources that help families become self-sufficient and active members of this community. When refugees are given the opportunity to learn, work, participate, they become entrepreneurs, skilled workers, community leaders, taxpayers, and volunteers. We strengthen our communityhood, contribute to our economy, and enrich the culture fabric of Houston.
Okay.
I also encourage greater civic and political participation among refugees. When people understood how local government works and have opportunity to engage with their community, they became more connected, more responsible, and more invested in the future of the city now they call home.
Very good.
I ask you to see refugee as a I ask you to see refugee not as burden, but as a people with extraordinary resilience, unstoppable potential. Every refugee represents human potential waiting for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am.
When we invested in education, skill, leadership, and integration, we are not simply helping refugees. We are investing in Houston's future workforce and economic community.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Roger Hurd Alexander. To be followed by Sandy Vento.
How you doing? My name is Roger Hurd Alexander. All right. I was here a year ago. I did 24 years in prison, and when I got out, they found me. I did over my time, and when I came home, they didn't do anything for me. I filed all my paperwork, and still yet, it's another year by. Now, I just got to the hospital. I have what they call endocarditis, and then I don't have no insurance. They put me out. They said I need 6 weeks worth of IVs. I'm homeless, and it's just like everything I'm trying to do, you know. I'm hitting a brick wall. You know, this thing I'm hearing about. I haven't watched TV. I never even knew what was going on about the ICE and things. You know, I'm in the streets trying to just survive. My body hurts. I can't get my medication. My medication, I think, is $270. And I said I need an Intrivic IV.
Where do you reside?
I reside. I'm in the third ward area now, but I'm homeless. I have nowhere. They just put me out the hospital. The whole past year, I've just been in the streets since I've been home.
Are you still on parole?
No, discharged. They found out I had to do a 2254 to the federal government for them to release me because they had me way past the time I'm supposed to do.
Okay. Councilmember Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Hurd Alexander. If you would see the lady right there, Ingram Mitchum, and she can maybe talk to you. I know that you are a District D, well, that's the address you gave, which is right down the street from the Jack Yates High School, all right? And I'm JY for life. But certainly, if you could have a conversation with her, then maybe we could help to navigate you to where you need to get health care. Now, health care in this country sucks, but we will do what we can to try to see if we can assist you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? She's right there behind, right there in the jacket, right there in the door. Okay? Thank you so much for coming.
Next.
Sandy Vento. I thought it was her. Mr. Q. Annie Manas of Katy. To be followed by Paul Manas of Katy.
Hello, Ms. Mayor Whitmire. This is my first council meeting. I heard you speaking, and I heard you speaking in the beginning with sensitivity and intelligence about ICE accountability. I was glad, I guess, surprised, but you spoke with sensitivity. You spoke with what sounded to me like commitment. So I just want you to know I heard you, and I'm listening, and I'm wanting you to follow through with that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for being here. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm next up. I'm Paul Monas. Annie is my wife. So I was next up to speak, if you will. Can I go now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I grew up in India, and I spent my early life there. And so I came to America, even though I had American parents, as a sort of immigrant. One of the things that I respect most about living here in the U.S. and about Houston is the rule of law. And I think we need to get ICE to follow the rule of law. I also went to University of Minnesota for my education, and up there the public tried to rein in ICE by following ICE around and documenting it. And as you know, Alex Preddy and Renee Good were shot trying to just film what ICE was doing to have a record. An idea I had to present to the city council is maybe you could assign a police officer with a body cam to follow the ICE officers around at least until they change their behavior. And at least that would have warned Lorenzo that there was an ICE event happening because he had no way to know. So that's just an intervention that could be done like the public did in Minnesota. So I thank you for your effort, and I support your getting to the bottom of what really happened.
Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Next.
Councilmember Jackson has a procedural motion.
Councilmember Jackson.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to suspend the rules to have Kendrick Sampson as the next speaker.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Kendrick Sampson.
Hey, how's it going? I am so proud of Houston and them standing up right now. My question, honestly, is why is Houston not protecting its people? That's my direct question. What are we waiting for? Where do we draw the line? Like, what line do we have to draw? Cut ties with ICE, period. There's a rise in violence across the United States and specifically in Houston, and the rise in violence is coming from law enforcement. From cops to ICE, there's a shootout. I mean, the anniversary of Sandra Bland's murder was yesterday. Yesterday was the anniversary of Sandra Bland's murder. And in 2026, over a decade later, law enforcement is having shootouts with unarmed citizens, and now y'all have invited ICE, law enforcement from outside of our communities, to come in here and murder our citizens, our people. Murdering a citizen like Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. We have been fighting for accountability for police corruption here, and now y'all are inviting and collaborating with law enforcement from outside of our city to abuse and murder our people. Why aren't y'all protecting us? That's the question. Where do y'all draw the line? It should only take one. It should be not one more murder, not one more abuse case, not anything. Not waiting until it gets to our front door. If you're not going to protect us, we should not protect y'all. We shouldn't protect y'all's seats. We shouldn't protect.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm dead. Collaborating with ICE is collaborating with Jim Crow.
Thank you.
It's collaborating with the delusion of white supremacy and with the huge population of black and brown migrants that we have in this city. The call to abolish ICE and disconnect everything from ICE should be loudest from Houston.
Okay.
And from our leadership alone, we should be the loudest on the world stage saying, abolish ICE, cut ties with ICE, and we can get them the fuck out of Houston.
Andrew Patterson. Adriana Tellez. Yes?
He's here.
Okay. To be followed by Adriana Tellez.
Hello, Mayor, City Council members, and I want to thank you, Mr. Pollard, for putting my name on the list. Today seems to be a very difficult day for everybody, but to make it long and short, the mayor stood out yesterday and said there's very little that can be done with regards to doing any type of investigation, and he's right. There is nothing we can do because the federal government is handling it, but what we can do is we can get the HPD and the Sheriff Department, get the best personnel that do investigations, and get them deputized by ICE so they can do the investigation and they can make sure that all the evidence and documents and everything else is done properly and it's not going to disappear. It's surprising to learn how many deaths have occurred in the U.S. as a result of ICE intervention and doing things. But supposedly they know 4,000 violations that occur. I doubt those guys even know one or two, and actually how to handle themselves in a situation that law enforcement is taught. It's rather unfortunate the results are that people are killed. Just a couple of things. Actually, just one thing, please. We have to understand that ICE was created by a president who recently stated that the countries in the Middle East that are fighting America, and he pointed out specifically the Islamic Republic of Japan.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good luck. Next.
Also, sinvergüenza is another term that's used in Spanish to describe the ICE. Sinvergüenza.
Thank you. Next.
Adriana Tellez. Yeah. To be followed by Maria Cervantes.
Wait, you can
afternoon. We stood, or at least I stood, in this chamber months ago and warned you this very thing would happen. And told you where this road would lead. But when the pressure came, many of you abandoned your promises you made to the immigrant community. Today, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo is dead, and I have to ask Council Members Diaz and Martinez and every Hispanic council member sitting here today, what will it take for you to stand with your constituents instead of siding with very little political pressure? Will it matter when it is your father, your brother, your son, or someone else you love? Help this family bring Lorenzo home and demand a full independent investigation and publicly commit that HPD will not collaborate with ICE, and remember that being undocumented should not ever be a death sentence.
I'm not going to small talk. I'm going to speak directly to you, sir. For the person that said we need to vote, we do vote. There's just not enough people that can vote, sadly, in this Houston. You know, I ask you, sir, am I next? Am I going to walk out of here and get a bullet in my head, my heart? What happened to Lorenzo shouldn't even happen. I don't know if you guys have a father, but it is very tragic to lose a parent. Very tragic. Now, when you lose it the way Lorenzo's children lost him, you know, what are we waiting for? Look at me, I'm shaking. Am I going to die from my underlying conditions, or am I going to lie from a bullet? You know, ICE hunts us worse than animals, because when we call animal control, do they just shoot the animal? No! They pick them up, right? Alive. Because you know what? If they kill them, you know, there's proof. And we incarcerate those people, right? Immediately. We say, oh, look at this person. They killed the dog. But here, what more proof do we need to make a proper investigation? You know, for the poor people that keep dying all over the nation, not just here locally. Yeah. But, sir, we plead to you. We put you in this place. I'm an American citizen, and I grew up in East End, specifically Magnolia Park. And I don't know if you remember the incident of Joe Campos, a beloved Marine. If you guys don't know about him, he was a beloved Mexican-American of the community, 23 years old, shot and killed by law enforcement. Now, I don't even consider ICE law enforcement. Right. They're just like hunting dogs that are killing us left and right. They don't even ask questions. They shoot and ask later. Is that true or not?
Thank you, ma'am.
You know, and no, my minute is not up. We will not allow another murder to happen in this city, in this county. I come here today to ask you to get ICE out of the streets of Houston. I know you can do it because our previous alcalde, mayor, you know, did it. You know, when Chief Acevedo launched the investigation for the people that were killed, when Mayor Sylvester Turner was here, he was able to do a very thorough investigation. So I ask you, sir, not with bad words, not with, you know, any...
Thank you.
I'm so tired of sitting here because my body is very sick.
I understand.
I have written to Miss Martha in the past before, Maria Cervantes, and she's a very nice lady.
Yep.
But you, sir, I don't want to think that you are an animal that cannot, even animals have feelings, you know, they can feel other people's, you know,
Very good. Thank
feelings.
you. Thank you for being here. Next.
Dr. Eugenio Fernandez Sanchez, to be followed by Kaylee Gallardo.
Good afternoon. My name is Eugenio Fernandez Sanchez. I am a nurse scientist and researcher at the Texas Medical Center. And my research focuses on HIV, human trafficking, and immigrant health. And today I'm here very concerned about the consequences of enforced ICE in the city. I am tired of watching our immigrant communities being targeted, stigmatized, and weaponized because of our color of our skin, our immigration status. Through my research, I have witnessed fear like I've never seen before. That fear has driven people away from medical care, increasing psychological and mental health. People are delaying medical care, missing appointments, and avoiding hospitals because fear of detention, family separation, and now killing. For people living with HIV, interruptions in treatment can have serious health consequences. I have spoken with research participants experiencing overwhelming anxiety, depression, and they worry about their future. I also worry about their future. Fear also makes victims of human trafficking less likely to seek health care, report abuse, or work with law enforcement. It strengthens the power of traffickers and weakens community safety. This is not only an immigrant issue, it's a public health issue, it's a mental health issue, it's a human dignity issue. As elected leaders responsible for the well-being of Houstonians, I encourage you to look at the health consequences that carry out their responsibilities and make decisions that affect our communities. I'm here to also request justice for Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kaylee Gallardo.
Hello, Mayor, City Council. I am a District K constituent and a UH alum. I just want to start by saying that I think Houston is such a beautiful city. When I think about the beauty of Houston, I don't think about things like the skyline. The first thing I think about is the people who live here. When I see my fellow Houstonians in all their colors and shapes and cultures, our community is where Houston's beauty lives. Recently, there have been more and more attacks from our state and federal government on our community in attempts to strip us of what makes us beautiful. ICE has forcefully infiltrated our community and is taking our brothers and sisters alive or dead. These attacks should not be permitted, and I call on you, Whitmire, and the City Council to stand up to Abbott and Trump and their administration and fight with us. People are dying and families are getting torn apart. People are being tortured in detention centers. There is no space for complacency. It is time to be brave. I am asking the city to follow in the footsteps of other major cities across the nation and focus on passing policies that place limits on the tactics that ICE uses. We need to see harsher ordinances that further restrict ICE and HPD collaboration. We need to, in order for ICE to operate within city limits, we need to make sure that they are not concealing their identity, have body cameras on and recording, and are not concealing the vehicles so that they can infiltrate our communities and hide amongst our own. Whitmire, and honestly the rest of the City Council here, y'all have campaigned to keep us safe, and quote from Whitmire's campaign, keeping violent criminals behind bars. Well, there are violent criminals in our streets destroying the lives of people who are just trying to make a living. What are y'all going to do to keep that promise? Thank you.
Just a second. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Kaylee, for being here. Our District K constituent and former District K intern.
Yes.
Thank you for lifting your voice. Thank you for the work that you continue to do and your engagement. And we hear you.
Thank you, Martha.
Right.
Thank you. Next.
We've got some more folks down there. We've got some more people down there, probably 100
Keaton King, to be followed by Carolina Bustos.
Good afternoon, Houston City Council members and Mayor Whitmire. I am the Reverend Keaton King, Associate Pastor of St. Philip Presbyterian Church in the Galleria. As clergy, I come before you today to advocate for a full, fair, transparent, independent investigation into the killing of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. This homicide erodes necessary public trust in law enforcement agencies. The public deserves the truth. The family deserves answers. If the ICE officers involved in the death of Lorenzo lawfully discharge their duties, then surely they won't mind an independent, thorough investigation. While the Trump administration has ordered ICE to cease most, not all, vehicle stops, Houston still needs greater accountability from ICE agents. ICE is the highest funded law enforcement agency in this country. We do not accept that body cameras are delayed because of government shutdowns. ICE can afford to appropriately equip officers to discharge their responsibilities. If they are not outfitted with necessary equipment like body cameras, then they shouldn't be on duty. HPD officers show up to work every day in uniform, complete with their names, badge numbers, body cameras, without masks, in properly marked vehicles. Why? Because they have nothing to hide. The Houston community can settle for nothing less than holding ICE to the same standards as HPD. We need you to join us in demanding that ICE agents be equipped with body cameras and proper identification of all officers and vehicles. This is a moral test for this city. We cannot look away while the right to due process is violated by ICE. Lorenzo's rights were taken from him when unnecessary lethal force was used as a first resort. A simple review of his ID would have revealed that Lorenzo was not even the target that ICE sought. Houston cannot abide the ICE approach of shoot first and ask questions later. Houston City Council members and Mayor Whitmire, I implore you to do everything in your power to ensure the independent investigation of the death of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo and to establish higher standards of accountability for ICE agents. Body cams on, masks off, identification presented, guns holstered. Thank you for your service on City Council.
Thank you. Ma'am. Councilor Salinas.
Reverend King, when I saw you on the list, I thought it appropriate to speak after you since you are my pastor. I can't put into words the fear and grief that the city is feeling right now. And I want you and all of Houston to know that many of us on this council stand with you. And not just following the shooting. Many of us have done everything in our power to limit the cooperation between HPD and ICE. Many of us have done everything in our power to try to keep ICE out of Houston. And know that we are going to keep fighting with you. We are going to be out there protesting with you. And we are going to do everything to make sure HPD does everything in its power to make sure no stone is unturned and we get justice for Lorenzo. But you have my promise. You have the commitment of so many of us up out here on this horseshoe. But thank you for what you do. Thank you for your guidance. And you have taught me and so many others. Faith means so much more than just prayers and words. It means taking action. And you have my commitment that we are going to take action.
Thank you, Councilmember Salinas. We have your back. Please keep fighting.
Carolina Bustos, to be followed by Aubrey Contreras.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Carolina Bustos, a first-generation Mexican-American. When my family came to the United States, we landed in El Barrio de Magnolia. I don't think ICE could have ever imagined the uproar Magnolia would make. I am here because it is my duty to speak up for those who are at greater risk. 1 in every 3 adults in Harris County do not have the ability to read or write. Are Houstonians not showing up to vote, or are our elected officials selling out after their pockets are lined with money? Why is it so difficult to do what you say you will? The people are the city, are posted on the wall. What does that mean or stand for? When Houstonians speak up and we voice our concerns, what comes from that? So far, not enough. We are here to demand a transparent, independent investigation and hold those accountable for the murder of Salgado Arujo. We must not stop there. We will not back down until ICE is abolished. Mayor Whitmire and other leadership must stay strong on this, even if the governor or president disagree. They are not Houston. We are. You represent us, not them. Power to the people.
Aubrey Contreras, to be followed by Hector Magno.
Before I start, may I ask if my little sister can also speak, because she's been really wanting to. All right, hello city council members, my name is Aubrey Contreras. ICE has killed 3 people in the last week. First was Lorenzo Salgoda in Barrio Magnolia down the street where I first went to school. The second was Juan Sebastian, who was killed in front of his toddler daughter while he was going to work. One killing that even happened this morning. I am scared to even go outside with my family, and that should not be happening. I'm understanding that it's not okay right now to ICE in general. And you know how hard that is? Is it because of my skin color? Because I don't look like most of y'all right now. And you know how upsetting it is to hear people call me names a monster. You know how maybe my sister has to hear that in school. That we're monsters. We are not monsters. We are humans. We are not aliens. We did not come from different places. We are from Earth. We are from all the same places. We bleed the same blood. Blood right here. I cut myself and I bleed. I wonder what color y'all bleed. What color do y'all bleed? Red? Oh, and whenever I stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and we get to the part, and justice for all, not all of us have justice. Look what's happening. ICE. What if I get deported? What if my sister does? What if my grandma does? Oh, you see all those people out there? They're trying to make sure ICE doesn't stay in Houston, Texas. Do you want to speak?
Hello, City Council. Hello, City Council members. My name is Julia Busta. This is a very sad topic for me and my family because ICE has the power to hurt, rip many families like mine. Please listen to me. Stop ICE.
That's a little girl.
Thank you.
That's a little girl. Help her generation.
Thank you.
Hector Magno, to be followed by Jeremy Peel.
Hi, my name is Hector Manuel Gonzalez Magno. I'm an attorney here in Houston. I work for the Young Center for Immigrant Children's Rights, and I previously worked for the Harris County District Attorney's Office. I am here today because I am asking this city to seek the truth behind the killing of Lorenzo Salgado by ICE agents. And I ask before you, how many more Houstonians must be killed at the hands of ICE before the city takes action? Mayor Whitmire, you repeatedly said that the city cannot get involved because this is a federal matter, and 2 investigations cannot be ongoing at the same time. However, local authorities do have the right to investigate deaths that occur within their jurisdiction. During the first 4 days of Lorenzo's death, we needed leaders to stand up for us and to demand the truth, not leaders who find their voice after the harm has been done. It was the community and district attorney who started demanding accountability, and they wanted to find the truth. Every day that passes by without transparency sends a dangerous message that some lives can disappear into unanswered reports, incomplete investigations, and political convenience. This city has shown it can move quickly, so act now. We cannot accept federal agents driving around through our neighborhoods in unmarked vehicles where body cams are not being used. The authority here is that Houston, us taxpayers, we do not want our taxes going to ICE operations nor assistance. So please stop that with that collaboration with them. Thank you, and have a good day.
Jeremy Peel. Carolyn Patterson. To be followed by Ermelinda Reese.
Hello, I live in District A, and I'm a teacher with 15 years of experience teaching in immigrant communities throughout Houston. In those years, I have taught a number of novels to students that discuss the American dream. It seems to me that my immigrant students are living the American dream every day. It also seems to me that Lorenzo Salgado lived the American dream. He raised a family in Houston, he built our city, and he provided incredible opportunities for his children. The part of the dream that was denied on the day that he died was due process. We know that the officers involved in this shooting did not identify him correctly. We also know that due process applies to any person on U.S. soil, not just American citizens. Because Lorenzo Salgado was one of us, he deserved due process. ICE thinks they are judge, jury, and executioner, and it is your job as our representatives to tell them that they are not. Thank you.
Ermelinda Reese, to be followed by Anthony Hubbard.
All right, good afternoon, all of you council members and to the mayor. I'm a proud Houstonian. I am from District I. My parents have been in Houston for as long as I can remember. And if I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired of this. The fact that everybody in this room is advocating for something as basic as human decency, for an internal, transparent investigation is insane. I am a teacher. There have been educators in this room that have said, we have to deal with our students not feeling safe. We as teachers have had to go through training that if we don't follow through, we immediately are raked over the coals for. You guys need to have some form of transparency with ICE. At the very least, get rid of them. Get rid of them completely. Break ties with them. This entire city is diverse. The fact that we've got people in unmarked vans killing people is insane. You are the mayor. When one of us gets killed, you shouldn't wait an entire week to basically say, hey, we are going to have a potential investigation. You should have done this within the first 24 hours. The same way all of us educators have to do it when our kids, or we suspect our kids are being abused, neglected. We have to do that, because if I don't do that, I get put into an investigation pool. I lose my job. Where is the transparency for you guys? Where's the transparency for ICE? This needs to stop. ICE needs to get the hell out of our city, and you need to do it now before the next one happens. And let's be honest. Let us be absolutely transparent. We've already had 3 deaths. Y'all say y'all are going to try to do something, but let's all be honest. The moment that this hits national news or some other death starts coming into play, everybody's going to forget about it. Yeah. Everybody is going to forget about it. And just to remind people, we're in July. I go back to work in August. I've got students that have to deal with this. Yeah. I've had my school tell us what we have to do if ICE shows up. There needs to be transparency.
Anthony Hubbard. To be followed by Norma Gonzalez.
Mayor Whitmire, you talked about unity. That's going to require direct action and courage from you. You told us that your leadership would stop what happened in Minneapolis and many other cities from happening here in Houston. We can clearly see that did not happen, and it was not the case. We need you to be brave enough to stand up to Abbott and join the fight. And for what we can do, all of us are going to vote in November to vote Abbott out. But how many months is that? Should we have to live in fear every single day that we may be shot and murdered in the street for nothing else besides the color of our skin? For months? I can vote in November. I am proudly going to vote in November. But what are we supposed to do? And to say council cannot do anything? Are you all going to tell me that a man can be executed in the street and HPD can do nothing? HPD can do nothing while a man is murdered and cold-blooded in the street? All of you should take action.
My name is Norma Gonzalez. I am with Woody Juntos and the Houston Leads Coalition. I have a message for the people of Houston, for City Hall, and for John Whitmire. Because of our city's refusal over the past several months to be transparent and end its collaboration with ICE, our communities have been forced to grieve over and over again. We are watching our own neighbors be hunted. We watched it happen here in Houston with Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, days later and this morning again. We're slowly watching this become the norm as you just sit there. Another tragedy, another press conference, and then we move on. I refuse to accept this as normal, and so should you. Not too many days ago, on the 4th of July, many celebrated freedom. This is not what freedom looks like. What happened to Lorenzo was not inevitable. Policies have consequences. Rhetoric has consequences. Decisions made in this very building have consequences. And we need leaders in Houston who are willing to protect every person who calls Houston their home. The question isn't whether another family will be standing where the Salgado family is standing today. The question is whether you will have done anything to stop it. John Whitmire, we have been standing in front of this building for months. We've asked you to end Houston's collaboration with ICE. We've warned you that these policies put our communities in danger. We have reached a tipping point. We demand that you conduct a full independent investigation into the killing of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo with complete transparency and hold accountable every officer who violated the law or anyone's constitutional or human rights. And Houston's collaboration with ICE, including the use of city resources and voluntary agreements that support federal immigration enforcement, and to end the use of mass surveillance technologies, including flock license plate readers that target our communities. Enough is enough. ICE out of Houston.
Ikra Tariq of Humble. To be followed by Asif Chowdhury.
My name is Ikra, and I stand here as a member of the Northeast Action Collective to say that it has been 7 days since the murder of Lorenzo. 7 days as unidentified murderers run free. They shot an innocent man without thinking twice, and I ask, why do they have this jurisdiction? I ask you all who voted to give police our tax dollars to protect us, when will you hold these ICE agents accountable and identify them to the public? When will you hold a city investigation? You cut millions in our social services to provide an $820 million reward for HPD, so where are they now? Where is our public safety that you have promised us? How can we trust what you say about providing us public safety when you can't keep us safe from state and federal agents who are negatively impacting the well-being of all immigrants who call Houston their home? This death is on your hands as you caved into fascism and set forward an ordinance that allowed HPD to fully collaborate with ICE, the same fascist organization that drive in unmarked vehicles, refuse to identify their person, turn off their body cams, and has the ability to kill our members in our community without consequences. Well, we're here to say that we demand you support to abolish ICE, we demand you push to prosecute them, and we demand justice for Lorenzo's family, because your continuation of support for them will show who you truly work for. Our community should not live in fear of leaving to go into the public because of the possibility they could be the next victim due to racial profiling.
Good afternoon, Mayor Whitmire and member of City Council. My name is Asif Chowdhury. Matter of fact, I think I just want to address today a little differently. Not like a year ago when I was a student at University of Houston, Graduate College of Social Work, or nor when we approach higher education committee in Austin, because we know how Greg Abbott and those committee members of Trump goons vote. Now, I want to welcome the new council member. Welcome to this madness. Now, Mayor Whitmire. Sir, how are you? No, seriously, how are you? I hope you had a peaceful weekend, got to share a meal with your family, and I'm assuming in peace, and many of the members in this council as well. And business is as usual for you guys. And when you share that sentiment, it's very offensive. It's very offensive to me. I'm sure it's very offensive for the people who behind me. It's not normal what's going on. And for you guys not to act on it, it's very disappointing. and you guys should be ashamed. And we really don't want to see ICE with that body camera. We don't want to see ICE in Houston. I know you guys are not up for election until 2028, but if you guys think I'm going to act properly, maybe you guys just resign.
Thank you.
Stelina Villarreal.
I am here to demand 3 things related to ICE in Houston. The first is to have an independent investigation as to what happened to Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, presente. The second is for City Council to reverse their decision about HPD. Houston Police should not be collaborating with ICE. And the third is for Mayor Whitmire to take actions toward making Houston a sanctuary city. ICE should be banned from the city. I live just a few blocks from where Mr. Salgado Araujo was killed by ICE agents. When I heard the news, I was too scared to leave my home. Today, I still fear being on Houston streets because ICE has proven to make mistakes that are fatal or detrimental to our community. Mr. Salgado was not the target of ICE's operation, yet he was still murdered. His innocence did not matter to ICE because they mistook his identity. Even ICE-targeted operations are xenophobic because they isolate and oust humans who are treated as lesser than. We now know that ICE killed more humans, one in Maine and another in Miami. The violence will not stop if we do nothing about it. We must stop ICE. You all must take action to get ICE out of Houston. As policymakers, you have the power and duty to protect your constituents and the residents of Houston.
Next speaker.
Susie Smith.
Susie Smith.
To be followed by Noah Melendrez.
Hello, Ms. Smith.
I wanted to address Mayor Whitmire. Is there a way
He'll
he
be
can
back.
Okay. I was born and raised in Houston, so I love this city with all my heart. I'm a resident of District C, and I took the afternoon off from work to be here today because I am horrified over the murder of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo at the hands of ICE agents in our city. And 2 days after this murder, Mr. Mayor, who, I'd be speaking to him directly if he was here, you stated that Houston police don't have the authority to investigate, adding, and I quote, "This is a time for the federal government to oversee their employees." As if you believe they did such a great job with that when ICE murdered 2 people in Minneapolis. Then legal experts at the South Texas College of Law disagreed with your initial position, Mr. Mayor, and on Friday, July 10th, you flip-flopped and called for an independent investigation. And I find it disgusting that you take the weak and impotent fascist enabler position until you are called out for it. After the ICE murders in Minneapolis, Houstonians marched down here and demanded a real plan for protection for when these deputized neo-Nazis bring their terror to our city. And apparently the only plan y'all had in place was to vote down that ordinance. Ken Paxton sued the city over that ordinance. Y'all could have fought back in court. You chose not to do that. You chose not to stand up to these fascists who love to repeat the old "don't mess with Texas" slogan out of one side of their mouths and then out of the other threaten us if we protest their Gestapo, who are not just messing with Texans, now they're killing them. I want to thank Council Members Salinas, Thomas, and Edward Pollard for standing up to fascism from the jump. Mr. Panzarella, I trust you would have voted the same as Ms. Kamen did. The rest of you are fascist collaborators. And if you don't want that to be your legacy, then consult the city attorneys on your payroll, paid for by our tax dollars, and figure out a plan to fight back with specifics. What is your plan? Because if you don't have a plan, I'm left to assume that the 13 of people up here, sitting up here who didn't fight back, are bought and paid for by Core Civic. Thank you.
Trust in law enforcement is an important part of our society. In the course of attending several protests around the murder of Mr. Salgado, I've had the opportunity to talk to many police officers there. These are hardworking people in a difficult job, and they deserve to be above suspicion. Unfortunately, in reversing Councilwoman Salinas' ordinance last April, City Council has raised fears and distrust across Houston towards HPD. The trained officers of HPD do not deserve to have their professions besmirched by being forced to associate with a gang of thugs recruited by a criminal federal government to terrorize and harass our communities with hardly any training. Many of these people are joining ICE because they couldn't get into the police academy. So why do we want our officers working not just with them, but for them? So for the safety of our communities, as well as the integrity of the HPD, I ask that City Council resolve to make every legal effort to remove ICE from Houston and to refuse collaboration with them. Councilman Panzarella, I really appreciate your comments today, and I hope you reverse your position and join Councilwoman Salinas' efforts. And Councilwoman Evans-Shabazz, you also voted to repeal Councilwoman Salinas' ordinance. So I'd appreciate it if you let us worry about our voting, since we also have to worry about yours. Thank you so much.
Maria Gonzalez, to be followed by Jennifer Delat.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I was here about a couple of months ago telling you my students were scared. They're still scared. I appreciate you all sitting here and listening to the anger and the frustration. I need you all to do the right thing, and I'm with Bill Booker. Let's start playing hardball with the state and the federal government. I need our city attorney to start figuring out how to address this. And yes, let's start suing ICE. Let's start. This city can do more. On Saturday, I have to go before Magnolia Park students again. These students are scared. I need to be able to tell them that our city is going to do everything it can to protect them. Right now, 2 months ago, you didn't. Let's try to fix that. Thank you.
Jennifer Delate. To be followed by Ambalika Williams.
Good afternoon. Thanks for hearing me. Appreciate it. I woke up last Tuesday morning to hear another person was extrajudicially executed by ICE. This time it was my neighbor Lorenzo. I bought my house in the East End because it was a safe place to live, because of people like Lorenzo. Hardworking, law-abiding families look out for one another. This is why I feel compelled to speak before you today. I no longer feel safe in my home, in the city I've lived in for 46 years and my husband was born in. July 7th, around 7 a.m., an armed masked men wearing no cohesive uniforms to identify themselves in two generic black SUVs with no lights or sirens chased Lorenzo down Canal, ran him off the road, shot him, and then mocked him as he bled out in the street screaming. This happened a short distance from Franklin Elementary around 7 a.m. as children were going to school. There's absolutely no excuse for endangering innocent people like that. This was an act of reckless, egregious violence. If they refuse to look and act like law enforcement, how are we even supposed to know they aren't robbers or having a road rage incident or anything else? How was Lorenzo supposed to know that the masked men wearing no uniforms in unmarked vehicles, behaving erratically and attempting to run him off the road were law enforcement? He'd committed no crime.
Thank you.
I'm not done. Mayor Whitmire, I voted for you. I've never asked you for anything. Hell, I don't even want to be here today. I'm a private person who just wants to live in peace. But I can't, because there is no peace here now. My hand was forced, which is what your assistant told me on the phone. She said that your hand was forced. She said you said it was a federal matter and there was nothing you could do to help us. Yeah. Twice. Sir, with all due respect, that's a load of hogwash. It's unacceptable. If our local government can do nothing to keep us safe, what's the point of your office? If your constituents are afraid for our lives for legitimate reasons, and you're throwing your hands up and saying you can't help us, why should we vote for you again? Can I get an answer to that question?
Councilor Castillo's in the queue.
Syria.
Thank you, Mayor.
That was a direct question.
Jennifer,
Am I not allowed to get answers to my questions?
As a District H resident, I wanted to address you and also the folks that have come here today. I know there have been a number of folks from District H and people that are still to speak, but you know, the calls for justice, transparency, the support for the Lorenzo Salgado Arroyo's family, I'm glad that this is happening because we need it. It's important for us to hear from y'all. And yes, it's important to vote, but it's also important to hear from the people we represent directly. And y'all asking for, demanding for the transparency, the accountability, pushing us to do more is important as well. I have and will continue to stand for a transparent and open investigation that will bring justice to Lorenzo and to his kids and wife. And want to again thank you all for being here today.
I hope so. Thank you.
Next.
Ambalika Williams, to be followed by Julia Godinich.
Hey y'all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Ambalika. I am a proud Houstonian who was raised by South Asian immigrants here in the great city of Houston. I recently was living in District C, now I live in District D. So just letting you know, you have a first generation person in your district as well as my wife who is an immigrant who also lives in your district. Immigrants make Houston, Houston. To be anti-immigrant is to be against this very city. Love for country means love for the people and the values this country stands for. Those values are liberty, freedom, and democracy. And this is not to you, this is for the general public. To anyone who supports ICE terrorizing our communities, most importantly to anybody who voted for this, what you did is not patriotism. My immigrant family loves this country more than you ever will. Liberty means due process, not unmarked cars and unidentified agents. Democracy means a government that actually serves its people, not one that tears families apart. Freedom means walking our streets without fear, yet my family and I feel this fear every single day. I'm going to wrap this up real fast. I'm done, almost done. To our council, love and service of country means upholding its values and protecting its people. As elected officials, your job is to protect and serve the people of Houston. To City Council, if you are actual people of God, when it is your time to leave this world, will you be known as someone who protected the people against forces of evil, or someone who let the forces of evil wreak havoc on the very people you sworn to protect? Okay. Be a patriot, Mayor Whitmire. I know you can. Protect immigrant communities who define this city and make it great. Thanks, y'all.
Hello. What? Oh my God. Hi, my name is Julia Godinich, and I live in District C. And I'm here to talk about the killing of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, which I'm sure you all have heard about this whole afternoon. And I just want to say that unless you or someone you care about has lived in fear of ICE, you do not understand how we feel. The killing of Lorenzo was unjust. We know this. The witnesses of the killing's safety are threatened by the very same people who have shown their arrogance to the law and human decency before. ICE is not welcome here. They have made Houston unsafe. The only dangerous criminals I've seen on our streets are the ones that shot Lorenzo last week and have terrorized our communities. Mayor Whitmire, I know this council told you to leave the investigation to the federal authorities. Just yesterday, critical evidence was released from Minnesota over the shootings of Renee Good, Alex Preety, Julio Soso Silas, and to the local authorities. It can be done. Justice can be served. I support that decision to push for an independent local investigation because despite previous claims by this council, we have the resources and we can take the lead. I was with the protesters last Wednesday at Magnolia Park, and I marched because I believe that all Houstonians deserve a fair and just investigation. I appreciate the push for a local investigation now, but we need to fight the presence of ICE in our communities and ensure that this investigation happens fairly and we prevent ICE in the future. Action is needed more so than thoughts and prayers at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nessie Gassano. To be followed by Callista Herbert.
I timed this multiple times at a significantly less than 3 minutes, so don't tell me to stop. Hello, my name is Nessie Gasnov. I am 18 years old, and I am the child of 2 immigrants from Belarus and Azerbaijan, respectively. A man has died in your city, and his name was Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. You are adults like me, and I don't care about decorum, because decorum is just meant to quell the revolutionary spirits, and I will not hold back. Thank you for the work you have done, because I do recognize that, but you have a responsibility to protect your citizens. And Mayor Whitmire, it is beyond me how much you let the federal government step all over you. In regards to the investigation, all I am hearing is, oh, well, there isn't much we can do. It isn't in our hands. Well, you know what you can do? Push and pressure more for an independent investigation, or even the bare minimum to get ICE out of our goddamn city. And don't say that is impossible, because Colorado and many other states like Utah have enacted many regulations as such. All of my friends who are people of color and or are also children of immigrants have expressed fear over ICE since the increased presence began in Houston when I was in high school. And as a white first-generation American, I recognize my privilege and I speak for them. No one should feel this scared to live in a country that has been built on immigrants. I am so goddamn sick of seeing families get ripped apart due to ICE, the power trips and inhumane acts being done to men, women, and children. And you should lie sleepless at night, knowing you are letting this presence run rampant in your city. The key witnesses of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's murder are being pressured into deportation, and his family, last I checked, hasn't even been able to claim his body. ICE killed another man yesterday in front of his 3-year-old child, if any of you on this council even knew that. Does it sound like justice to you? Is anything that anyone is saying getting through to you? Because I certainly can't protect my community if you guys are doing nothing to protect them. I am Jewish, and seeing ICE, a wannabe Gestapo, kill people in cold blood in the streets is how some of my ancestors eventually died to the Nazis. And I will not be silent watching ICE pathetically try and do the same anywhere, but especially in my city. Finally, Amy Peck, you once said in an email, quote, there is no better way to stick it to the Antifa types than to show them that they can't stop people from participating in public life, end quote. Well, there is no better way to stick it to a fascist bootlicker than to show them that you can't stop the people from making every single person on this council feel the crushing weight of their sins and all the screams of the citizens they are letting down and having died in the streets of ICE. I know you hear them out there. I know you do. To the Araujo family, I have nothing but love and admiration for you. I'm sorry. Abolish ICE, free Palestine. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. Thank you.
Ma'am, just a second. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Peck.
Thank you for coming today. I don't know what that quote is, but I never said that, so don't know what that is.
Okay, thank you.
Next.
Callista Herbert. Cassandra Casados. Rachel Damon. To be followed by Sasha Monteroso.
A man was murdered in cold blood by ICE in our city. Not in Los Angeles, not in Chicago, not in Minneapolis, right here in the streets of Houston. So what are you as city council going to do about it? Who are these ICE agents who killed our brother Lorenzo? And where are they? It's been over a week since he was murdered. Why does nobody seem to know the names of these state-sponsored killers who are wreaking havoc in our city? This isn't simply the fault of the Trump administration. Every single one of you on the Houston City Council has Lorenzo's blood on your hands. Every single one of you who has refused to take a stand against ICE operating freely within the bounds of our city has Lorenzo's blood on your hands. Every single one of you who capitulated to Greg Abbott in allowing ICE in police collaboration has Lorenzo's blood on your hands. ICE may have pulled the trigger, but you handed them the guns. million immigrants, nearly 25% of our population. Immigrants make Houston run. Yet Harris County is leading the nation in ICE detainments. Harris County Jail holds the most ICE detainees in the entire country. These aren't just statistics. They are real people, families, children. We should be deeply ashamed. So again, I ask, what are you going to do about it? We will not allow ICE to lie about the details as is part of their playbook, to blame Lorenzo for his own murder. And we won't allow you to blame us for his murder either.
Thank you, ma'am.
We need more than hollow statements. We need answers. To get up there and say that there's nothing you can do is an insult to all of us who participate in the political channels that are made available to us.
Thank you.
We demand an independent investigation immediately. We cannot allow these armed thugs and their counterparts to investigate themselves. We demand an immediate halt to the collaboration between HPD and ICE that is the primary thing making our communities unsafe. We demand an immediate halt to the deportation proceedings of the witnesses of Lorenzo's murder. You represent us, the people, and the vast majority oppose this racist deportation machine. So again, what are you going to do about it?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor Whitmire, City Council, and my fellow Houstonians. My name is Sasha Monterroso, and I am a daughter of an immigrant. I stand before you today carrying not only my own voice, but the voice of thousands of people here today who refuse to accept the silence and the face of tragedy. Lorenzo Salgado was not just another name in the news headlines. He was a human being. He had a family who loved him, dreams of his future, and people who expected him to come home that night. Instead, they're left planning a funeral while still searching for answers. Less than 24 hours of Lorenzo's death, his family was told that our own city would not condone an investigation. Before they had time to grieve, they were met with closed doors. This is not compassion, this is not leadership, and this is not justice at all. Justice cannot depend on who pulled the trigger. Accountability cannot disappear because a federal badge was involved. When a life is taken, every level of government has a moral responsibility to seek the truth. If we cannot even ask the questions, how can people ever get the answers to the truth? Today, we're asking City Council to do what is right, not because it is politically convenient, but because it is morally correct. An independent investigation is not an attack on the law enforcement. It is a commitment to transparency, accountability, and the principle that no one is above scrutiny. Mayor Whitmire and members of the City Council, history will remember the choices that you decide to make in moments like this. Years from now, people will not remember the talking points or the excuses. They will remember whether you stood with a grieving family or turned away from them. They will remember whether Houston chose courage or comfort. To Lorenzo's family, you should never have to fight alone, and neither should anybody. Your community is standing beside you because your pain matters, your loved ones matter, and the truth matters. And to everybody listening here today, this is bigger than one family. This is the kind of a city we choose to be in, a city that looks away when difficult questions arise, or a city that believes that every life deserves dignity, every family deserves answers, and every abuse of power deserves accountability. As the great labor leader and civil rights activist Dolores Huerta once said, every moment is an organizing opportunity, every person a potential activist, every minute a chance to change the world. Today, our service is not measured by words, but by our willingness to stand up for justice when it is hardest to do so. If we remain silent for one family, how can we expect to stay silent? I'm not finished yet. I am not done. With all due respect, I'm not finished. We send a message to any family that can be next. If we stand together with courage, compassion, and conviction, we can build a Houston where truth is never buried, where accountability is never optional, and where every person, regardless of who they are, is treated with dignity that they deserve. Today, I ask you to choose justice and to choose transparency. Choose the people you were elected to serve. Because if justice means anything at all, we all deserve to have it. Thank you.
Next.
Sean Spinner.
There we gotten down to the political.
Jessica Campos.
That ain't gonna work. One at a time, please. One at a time.
No, one person at the podium.
One. No.
Oh, they're here. They are here. Okay?
I know y'all would like to have an incident, but you're not going to get your way. I'm going to ask you respectfully to follow the rules at one person.
We're not speaking. She is. Come on.
One person at the podium.
I'm so glad that one of you mentioned voters and that we parents should be teaching our children.
Let them get away. Okay.
On a daily basis, all day long. I'm up till 3 o'clock in the morning talking to people. I have groceries in my car right now to deliver to an undocumented person.
Thank you.
Why are we doing your job? It's upsetting to come up here and you're not even looking at me.
Okay. You've got 30 seconds to finish, and I'm going to respectfully ask you to follow the rules.
A city without leadership becomes a city ruled by fear. A city ruled by fear creates communities that learn to survive without their leaders. If we have to keep doing your job, the job that you were elected to do, then eventually the people are going to ask, why do we even need leaders at all?
Teodora Agaluz.
They came here to see you guys act like leaders, and you're not leading.
Thank you. Thank you.
Teodora Agaluz. Christine Vole. To be followed by Julie McShay.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Christine Foe, and I'm a resident of District A. It's astonishing to me that even after a year of community members, organizers, and families coming to City Hall to demand you to do something, anything, to protect us from ICE, you have done the exact opposite. And now we've lost a community member to ICE. Councilmember, don't say there's not much that we can do. At the bare minimum, you should be joining us in the streets, passing policies to end ICE operations in the city, and standing up to the far-right state government and Trump, calling to abolish ICE. When you choose to allow ICE to operate in Houston, you're sending a message to all of us whose lives are of value and whose are disposable. Houston is home to 1.6 million immigrants. How many more immigrant fathers need to be killed before this council decides to actually do something? How many more families need to lose a parent before you decide to stand up to Trump and Abbott? Lorenzo deserved to come home to his family like all of you on city council get to.
Thank you.
He deserves to grow old with his family and not grow old because you failed him and you failed this city. Conduct an independent investigation and get ICE off our streets. Justice for Lorenzo.
Before I begin, I want to just clarify that I do have 3 minutes, correct? 1? Okay, I would like my time to start now. I am Professor July McShay. I teach at an HSI, so this is critical to me because my students are a part of the community that is being targeted. Growing up, my favorite song was I Believe the Children Are the Future, The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. And today I have seen that the children really are the future because the young people have come up here today and they have read y'all for filth. They have told you how they feel, and they have also expressed the power that is in them. that they will be voting. And some of you may not have any more political futures because the children have spoken. And the Bible says from the mouths of babes. You have heard it from the mouths of babes today. I am only the teacher. I model myself after my Creator, after my Savior. And so I teach the children. But let me just say to you as a body, that is incumbent upon you to set politics to the side and stand up for your fellow Houstonians. It is time for you to speak up and stand by your fellow Houstonians, whether they have citizenship or not. 3 hours ago exactly at 1:54, we heard you present Global Refugee Day, right here in this very chamber. A lot of our immigrant community members are here because they came as refugees, whether official or unofficial. So it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to stand up for our neighbors. The Bible teaches us that in Matthew chapter 6. I'm a member of the social justice ministry at my church, so if you hear me cuss, it's because I'm Peter. But if you hear me speak up and use the word of God, it's because I live by it. But I'm also on y'all behinds as a politico. I expect action. I expect you to demand action. Call on the Texas Rangers, stand with our county attorney, Sean Tier, and stand up for Houstonians. We cannot afford to lose another father, business owner, husband, neighbor, friend, uncle, business owner.
Thank you.
We can't afford it. A man was killed today in St. Augustine, Florida. The Miami Herald reported it. This is serious business. In Houston, we have an opportunity, Mayor Whitmire. You have the opportunity to be a historic mayor by standing up and creating policy and making demands at this moment in our nation where people, citizens and residents of these United States are losing their lives. Their 14th Amendment right to due process is being snatched away from them. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, ma'am.
Professor McShay, July.
Ma'am.
Professor McShay, I wanted to thank you for coming today, not only for your words, because we hear you, we watch you, we see the work that you are doing. Your civics and campaign school has been instrumental in the short time that you have started that, but you have taken on the mantle to make sure that the people in the community actually know the process and they know what their powers are and they know how they can affect change, and we need more of that. So we appreciate you being here today. We appreciate you always lifting your voice and encouraging others to lift their voices, and I did not want you to leave today without telling you that we see you and we appreciate the work that you continue to do for the city.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Sarahi Garcia, to be followed by Selma Garcia.
My name is Sarai Garcia. Let's get it right. I was here a couple months ago because the youth had been organizing around making sure that this did not happen. I hold each and every one of you all accountable for bending the knee to Abbott and to Trump, for not having any moral backbone or fortitude. Y'all were okay with ICE coming and kidnapping our neighbors, taking them to concentration camps, knowing what happens in those concentration camps. They are fucking concentration camps. The people are not getting fed. They don't even have water. Little girls are falling pregnant. How the hell does that happen? And y'all were okay with ICE coming into our city. I'm Magnolia grown. I lived there. That's my community. I went to school down the street from where Mr. Lorenzo was shot and murdered by state-sanctioned fucking thugs. And y'all are here, okay with this, not doing anything, not showing any kind of moral character or fortitude. Y'all are weak and pathetic. What kind of leadership do you show, Mayor? You don't. You fucking bend the knee to those fucking tyrants up in Washington and over there in the state capitol. What? I mean, you are supposed to protect your community, but you demonstrated to us very clearly that you don't give a shit about us. When that day, when they had that press conference, you weren't there. Every fucking politician was there, but your face was missing, noticeably absent. Why? Because you don't give a shit about us.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Gracias por permitirme dirigirme a cada uno de ustedes hoy.
Thanks for letting me speak to each and every one of you.
Pero quiero dirigirme a usted principalmente y recordarle que ningún migrante es ilegal en sus propias tierras.
Mayor directly that no one is illegal on stolen land.
¿Sabe por qué nos están acribillando? ¿Por qué nos están matando?
Do you know why they're killing us? Do you know why they're hunting us?
Porque no tengo el pelo güero, no tengo los ojos azules.
Because I don't have light skin.
No, mi piel no es blanca.
I don't have white skin.
Pero acá estoy con esta piel morena.
I'm right here with my brown skin.
Pero en mi sangre,
in my
corre
blood,
orgullo, trabajo, dignidad, respeto, cosas que muchos de acá no conocen.
In my blood, it runs. I have courage. I am bold. I speak for my people.
Thank you.
No, you will not shut her up. Do you know who this woman is?
Queremos afuera migración. Yo no más asesinatos. Es una obligación. Usted lo prometió. He caminado por el voto y sé lo que hemos pasado para que cada uno de los que están aquí hoy nos represente.
Thank you.
And you need to get up out of the city. It's your job, your responsibility. Do something about it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Carrie Rice of Cyprus. Javon Tyler. To be followed by Ruben Garza.
My name is Jovan Tyler. I am a native Houstonian. I live in District D. Listen, silence equals death. This statement isn't meant to be sensational. Houston City Council may not have jurisdiction over ICE, but each of you certainly has a voice. Those who've been silent, I challenge you to use your voice to demand transparent justice for the family of Lorenzo Salgado, who was a law-abiding laborer who owned his own business. My grandfather was a laborer who owned his own business. So for me, this is very personal. Your city is looking to your leadership to calm the fear, the terror, the anger that's on our streets. You've made a commitment to protect all Houstonians, no matter the color of their skin, their immigration status, their sexual identity, or any other perceived difference. I look forward to each of you doing your part to ensure that ICE has no place in our city, which is built on the shoulders and the backs of immigrants. I would recommend that this council put forth an intentional Know Your Rights campaign. There is a heartbreaking memorial in remembrance of Lorenzo on Canal Street. If you've not been there, I'd encourage you to go. There's a lack by some on this council to have compassion. When you go to that memorial, there's a continuous crowd of Houstonians who are there, and their reoccurring message is that those who live in the East End are not cared for by this council. No Houstonian should feel that their government doesn't care. If this isn't true, now is the time for you to step into history and go into the streets where darkness abounds our streets this hot, bloody summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council. My name is Ruben Garza. I'm going to be very honest. I can't follow any of what the previous crowd has talked about, so I just want to give a shout out to the brave Houstonians who've come up and given their time. I also understand there's a bit of a legal confusion with the Supremacy Clause. It is possible to prosecute federal officers for state crimes like murder. So, as this investigation continues with DA Tier, there is an opportunity to prosecute. Now, that's not why I'm here. What I'm here to talk about is a federal housing act that just passed over the weekend without the president's signature. Essentially, there's a lot of really good stuff there, but something I do want to point out is federal guidelines on infill housing programs, single-stair reform, as well as the Innovation Grant, which is under Section 208 of the Road to Housing Act, which again just passed on July 11th. In short, the City of Houston can compete for competitive HUD grants up to $200 million for implementing certain housing affordability policy reforms, including but not limited to, shockingly, eliminating off-street parking requirements. So the City of Austin has already done so in 2023 citywide. Dallas has taken a good whack at some of their parking requirements. So they already have a competitive advantage against us. And if we want to be more secure in getting these federal housing grants, we can and should eliminate off-street parking requirements as well as other housing-related reforms. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Lindsey Williams, to be followed by David Espinoza.
Hi, y'all. My name is Lindsey Williams, and I'm here as a District I resident, not as a super neighborhood president capacity. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo built Houston homes for 35 years. He was a father and a husband, and he wasn't even the target. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide, and the agents wore no body cameras, even though Congress funded them in April. My friends and neighbors tell me that they feel like they're being hunted like animals, and this could be them, this could be their families, and this hurts. Former Sheriff and current County Commissioner Adrian Garcia said it plainly. Harris County is less safe because of this shooting, and he reminded us body cameras protect officers too. They prove more often than not that officers did their difficult work the right way. I encourage this council to support the Lorenzo Salgado Araujo Act. Body cameras, clear identification, independent oversight. Legislation like this makes everyone safer, our neighbors and the agents themselves. I'm a sixth-generation Texan, a third-generation Houstonian born and raised. I don't recognize my home right now, and I believe Houston can lead here. Somos Lorenzo.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is David Espinoza. I'm a member of the Northeast Action Collective and co-director of Language Justice and Community Organizing at West Street Recovery. Now, as part of my job, I do meet with a cohort of Spanish-speaking residents from Northeast Houston to discuss topics like these. And right now, well, ever since ISIS made their presence known in Houston, people have been scared to go to work, to go to school, to get groceries, even come to this very chamber. While you're supposed to be, you and the county are supposed to be a bulwark against an increasingly fascist federal and state government. And only when the ICE ordinance was debated in April, only 4 of you, Cayman, Thomas, Pollard, and Salinas, stood up for the Latino community. And I can see right now, maybe potentially, a lot of Democrat-aligned or liberal council members are trying to save face right now. And some of the GOP are probably celebrating this murder. So now we're a year out from election. And right now, I'm supporting, if you all want to change your mind on that,
thank you.
Conduct an investigation and do so. Because we need y'all to stand up for us against the fascists that are coming to take over.
Thank you.
I just want to shame one more group. Because one people that didn't show up here to speak is HPD. Because I remember last year being in this chamber during the budget season, they were here, plain clothes, demanding that they get their raises. But where are they here? Why are they protesting the abuse against citizens, against this extrajudicial killing?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jacob Clementich, to be followed by Eduardo Duran.
The Fan Fest for fifth World Cup series was held a Olympic get together to show off the sports. Yet I wasn't informed of it or invited to it. I don't know why, because I was free that day, but they didn't inform me or invite me to it, and so I feel like very disappointed because I would have loved to have gone to the Fan Fest, but all I can say is bye.
Thank you, Jacob. It's been a long day.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for waiting. Councilor Evans Shabazz.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to take the time to recognize Arnetta Murray. She's a city council member from Iowa Colony, and she comes to a lot of activities and supports the city of Houston. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you. Next.
Eduardo Duran.
Oh, that dude.
So I'll make this quick. I have 2 clips. Since it's busy today, then I guess I only have 1 minute. So I'll play the first one and let it play, and then I'll play the second one, let it just play, and then no comments or anything.
Thank you, BC.
Centralized local issue. So over the past 6 months, we've been working on this project called the AI Data Center Map. I'll just bring it up on screen here, AIDataCenterMap.org. And so what's the best way to get people to care about what's going on in the area? We'll actually talk about what's going on in the area. So if you live in Denver, for example, and you want to see the impact of local data centers, all you have to do is click on the map. And there you go. This is a rough estimate of how much power and water these data centers are using. And that combined with the report, if Derek, you could bring that up on screen. This report we published, which you'll be prompted to download.
Okay, so that's Derek Brose and from Conscious Resistance, and that was the first clip, and then I have a second one for you right here.
Thank you.
Very quickly.
Thank you.
This is talking about a digital Bill of Rights, which was just presented to three states, and are considering it by Patrick Wood and Courtney Turner. They went ahead and created this model for a digital Bill of Rights, and so far we have 3 states that are actually considering and looking at it.
Thank you, sir.
Here's the report of it. If you give me 30 seconds or an extension, since I'm the last person, I will be out of your hair very quickly.
Have launched a brand new digital dollar called OpenUSD. So again, it's all coming together. Now that brings us to our final topic.
Okay,
Bill of Rights
your time's run, sir. Thank you for being here. We stand recessed in the morning.